zone.
Well, good evening, sports fans, and welcome to Tiger Stadium for tonight. It is another K-West broadcast of Weslaco Panther football. Tonight we are in week 3, and the Weslaco Panthers have traveled all of 6 miles east to Mercedes to take on the crosstown rival, the Mercedes Tigers. I am Joe Aguilar, joined tonight by Mike Gonzalez, bringing you all the action here from Tiger Stadium.
Well, Joe, it's great to be here. We're talking about a lot of history between the Weslaco Panthers and the Mercedes Tigers, that dates back to the 1920s when you consider names like Bobby Lackey, Bud Payne out of Bud Auto Group, Harlan Block, and from Mercedes, Billy Jean Pemberton, Congressman Ruben Hinojosa have all partaking part of this series. It's very special, means a lot to both communities. It's been on and off, and we brought it back last year. Weslaco won 21-6. This is Weslaco's first visit to the facility here in Mercedes, a beautiful facility, and I'm looking forward to tonight's game.
Well, the Tigers come in with a 1-1 record. Of course, opening week they lost to the Cal Allen Wildcats, a top 5 team in the state. Of course, if you look at them, they are the returning state runner-up. So there's a lot of history in Cal Allen, a very tough team, a team that Mercedes led at the half 7-6, and of course in the second half it was all Cal Allen afterwards. And then last week the Tigers traveled to McAllen to beat up on Nicky Rowe by a score of 27-20. That night they sparked a brand new running back by the name of Matt Gracia, a guy that we don't hear a lot from, but he was the guy that really put that spark in the Tiger offense last week. Rushed for 120 yards on 17 carries and a touchdown. Of course, the Tigers have a lot of running backs in their stable. They've got Alex Ramos, they got Sonny Vela, and Fabian Ledesma as well. But of course, the big story is their quarterback, who last week had a great night. He had 150 total yards. 120 of those were through the air, where he went 10 of 19, and he threw for 2 touchdowns. And, of course, his favorite target is his twin brother,
Matt Ledesma, who's already averaging 20 yards per reception. I mean, this is a team, Joe, that year in and year out do very well on a 7-on-7 competition. So when it comes to chemistry, these guys have it. They're twin brothers. And then you talk about Fabian, another good back, and then Matthew Gracia. Yeah, absolutely, this Tigers team are a very good test for the Panthers. Here we go.
Well, the kickoff is on the way. It's 78. We don't have a name for him. It's taken 3 yards deep in the end zone. The Tiger return man decides to take it out. He gets to about the 15, 16-yard line, where he's brought down by a host of Panthers. Now, the Mercedes Tigers are the home team. They are dressed in all black. Black pants, black jerseys, black helmets. They've got an orange stripe down their pants, orange numbers, and an orange paw on their helmet. The Weslaco Panthers are in their road whites, all white, purple numbers, and purple lettering, and of course the purple Panther logo on their helmet. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. They are at their own 16-yard line. Mark Ledesma is the quarterback. He's got 2 running backs in the backfield with him. 2 receivers split to the left, 1 to the right. Snap is on its way. Handoff is to Ledesma. Ledesma gets to the line of scrimmage, and that is about it.
The swarm of Panthers were there to stop the run there. Very aggressive. Last week allowed only 120 yards against San Antonio Marshall. I mean, Coach Buff, the new defensive coordinator, that's his commitment. He likes to load the box, and he likes to stop the run, and right away, Panther D swarming there for only a 1-yard gain.
That's right. They are going to give him 1 yard on that rush, and so we are now looking at a 2nd and 9 from the 17-yard line. Same formation for the Tigers. They're going to send a receiver in motion, and that's going to be Luis Gonzalez. Gonzalez is going to stop in the slot. Ledesma looks left, goes right. He's got a receiver, and just barely out of the outstretched arms of his twin brother Matthew. So an incomplete pass will bring up a 3rd down and 9 from the 17-yard line. That incomplete pass will stop the clock with 11:09 here in the opening quarter.
If Ledesma would have caught that ball, there was nobody in front of him. That would have been an easy touchdown for the Tigers.
And these Ledesma boys are fast. They've got speed. Last year they don't know where they placed in district, but they qualified for area and regionals as well. So there's a lot of speed between those twin brothers. Same offensive formation for the Tigers. Panthers send 4. Ledesma's got time. Now he's going to move over to his right. Let's go of the ball. He's got his brother, and again, just a little out of the reach of Matthew. That one, again, Matthew was open, but that incomplete pass is going to bring up a 4th down situation for the Tigers, and it looks like they're sending out their punt personnel. So you were talking about the stinginess of the Panthers, Mike?
Yeah.
And 3 and out.
Well, yeah, in that play, the Panthers had 4 down defensive linemen. Up the middle came Tony Esteban in number 99 with the pursuit there, and Ledesma just once again off target there, and 3 and out. Here come the Panthers.
All right, Roy Trevino back deep for the Panthers, and the punt is blocked. It's picked up by the Tigers, but of course we are going to have the Panthers take over at the 3-yard line, but I do see a flag on the play, so we'll wait to see what the men in the striped shirts tell us what's going on the field.
Right away, the special teams coming through for the Panthers. Let's see if it holds up, but this is a carryover from last week. Payne Kanab with that 85-yard game-winning score there to give the Panthers the lead and the win. And then on that kickoff, that quick kick that bounced off the penalties against the Tigers.
It'll be declined, and the Panthers will take over deep in Tiger territory at the 3-yard line of the Tigers. So with 10:55 to go here in the first quarter, it's going to be the Weslaco Panthers 1st and goal from the 3-yard line.
Yeah, as I go back talking about last week, yeah, it was that quick kick that bounced off of Marshall's the front line there, and then the Panthers recovered to seal the win, and then now here they start off with a block punt. So just remarkable job by the special teams. Marco
Leal in at quarterback. He's got Kanab in the backfield with him. 2 receivers to the left. The handoff is made to Matthew De Santiago, is in the backfield, and he's going to take the handoff from Leal, and he's going to get to about the 1-yard line. Pickup of 2 on that play, bringing up 2nd and goal from the 1.
The great thing about this spread offense is, as you can see, they're going no huddle. It could be Matthew or it could be or Marco Leal keeping the ball. And we got a flag down.
That's going to be motion on the Panthers. Everyone moved except for the center.
Yeah, so obviously that count was 1. Everybody knew except the center there. So 5 yards back, here we go. But something that Panther fans are now getting used to, Joe, is a no-huddle offense, an up-tempo style, a lot of excitement. A lot more players are involved now, a lot more responsibility now for the offensive line who now have to pass protect.
Well, that 5-yard penalty moving back to the 6-yard line. We will repeat 2nd down, 2nd and goal from the 6. Devin Dena split wide to the left. Wide to the right, we've got Richard Olzak, De Santiago, motion, fakes a handoff to De Santiago, and the ball is in the air in the direction of Jaden Cavazos. That's an incomplete pass, so that'll bring up a 3rd down and 6.
Something we'll see, and we already see, is Marco Leal and Jacob Cavazos, taking turns playing quarterback here. Marco last week was solid, 5 of 9, 125 yards. Jacob was 4 of 8 for 84 yards. So here we go.
Jacob, play action. He keeps the ball. He's going to go up the middle for a Panther touchdown. And that's what I was about to say, Mike, is that when I saw Jacob in at quarterback, he is a very big threat to run with the football. He had 2 rushing touchdowns last week in the home opener, or in their season opener, better yet, for the Panthers.
And all he does, Joe, is he reads the defense. He fakes it to the back. He reads the defense, see where they're at, and if he feels like he can take it, he will take it. That's what we did, and score, boom, 7-0 or 6-0 now.
6-0 with 10:21 to go in the opening period. Point after is on its way, and it's up, and it is good. So with 10:21 to go here in the first quarter, it is the Weslaco Panthers 7, the Mercedes Tigers 0. We'll be right back with more action right here on K-West.
Before David Lozano started practicing law, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. He participated in UIL athletics. He was a regional qualifier. He earned college credits through the dual enrollment program. After high school, he attended the University of Texas before graduating from St. Mary's School of Law. Now he helps people in need as an attorney. WISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For David Lozano, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
Welcome back to Tigers Stadium here in Mercedes, Texas. K-West bringing you Friday Night Lights. It is your Weslaco Panthers taking on the Mercedes Tigers. Weslaco Panthers blocking a punt to take advantage of the football game, recovering or stopping the Tigers at their own 3-yard line. And 3 plays later, they're in the end zone. Point after is good. So now the Panthers will kick off for the second time. This time it is going to be fielded at the 8-yard line by Matthew Gracia, and he's going to get out to about the 16. That's where the Tigers will take over here on their second possession. If I'm not mistaken, they started their first possession at the 16 as well.
Exactly. This is the special teams again coming through there. The kicker doing a wonderful job, number 78, kicking it at the right spots, and the Tigers having problems there handling the ball, and then the coverage team is right there to stop them. So you're behind the red zone now. It's a little tough to get going. So let's see what the Tigers do now.
All right, Mark Ledesma with a single setback now. He's going to send a receiver in motion. Got receiver split wide to both sides. Handoff is made to Gracia. Gracia breaks a tackle. He gets up to about the 21-yard line. He's going to fight his way for 2 more to about the 23-yard line. Good, tough run there by Matthew Gracia.
About 7 yards on the play. That's a positive yardage for the Tigers. They only had 1 yard total in that last possession. So, you know, second and short makes life a little bit easier on offense.
Matthew Gracia, their big spark plug last week in their win over Nicky Rowe. So here we go, 2nd down and 3 from the 23-yard line. This time, Ledesma's going to have 2 running backs in the backfield. Now Ledesma's going to move forward. Gracia stays back there. Got a receiver in motion in Luis Gonzalez. Snap is made. Handoff to Gracia. Gracia looking some room on the outside. He can't find anywhere to go, and he's going to be stopped for about a 2-yard loss.
No, I think number 94 there was the first guy there. That's Jesse Ramos there. And another lineman there, Tony Estevane, once again in the backfield. Everybody else came and helped for, looked like a loss of yardage, loss of about
2 yards on that play back to the 21-yard line. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 from the 21-yard line. The Tigers are going to send 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ledesma's got 2 running backs back there, Gracia and Ledesma. He's going to roll to his left. Now he's looking right, nowhere to go. He's got pressure. Ball is on its way, and it is incomplete. And there's going to be a late hit on the play there. Now we've got 2 plays. Fabian Ledesma was hit after the ball was not caught. And the referee threw the flag. But then Ledesma retaliated, so this is going to be 2 personal fouls, 1 against the Panthers and 1 against the Tigers.
Yeah, let's see what the officials call here, because I did see a few of the Panthers clapping their hands as if something positive came out of for them, but we'll see.
Got a dead ball, personal foul on the defense. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike on the offense. Penalties, offset. 4th down.
That is why the Panthers were excited, because they knew they were going to be offsetting penalties, and of course it would bring up a 4th down. That is referee Mike Buck with the call.
Good old Mike Buck, a good friend of ours.
Exactly. And of course the officiating crew, that is referee Mike Buck, umpire Eddie Ramos, linesman Mark Minton, line judges Ramiro Villasillos, and the back judge is Art Alvarado. Back deep to return this punt for the Panthers is going to be Roy Trevino. Remember the last time the Tigers were punting, the Panthers brought everyone in and they blocked it. So we'll see what kind of rush they get. They've got plenty of people, and that was a quick kick there by the punter. And of course, that is a fair catch made by the return man, Roy Trevino, at the 45-yard line of the Mercedes Tigers. So again, the Panthers are going to start with great field position. Both offensive series have begun inside the Tiger territory.
Yeah, that makes a short field, makes life so much easier for the offense, and that makes it, you know, especially when you have a young quarterback like Jacob Cavazos, it only makes them that much more dangerous. And, you know, whether it's Marco Leal or Jacob Cavazos in there, and it helps Coach Salinas with his play calling too. You
were talking about the sophomore Peyton Canab earlier. He is in the backfield with the quarterback, Marco Leal. 2 receivers split wide right, 1 to the left. Handoff is made to Canab. Canab is going up the middle, and he's going to lose a yard. He was met in the backfield, so that's going to be a loss of 1, bringing up a 2nd down and 11 from the 46-yard line. We've got 8.5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. The Weslaco Panthers lead this one 7-0.
Yeah, Payne Kanab is a guy they like to use in the backfield as a slot receiver or as a wide receiver. The same thing for guys like Jacob Cavazos, who, when he's not quarterback, he can also line up in the same positions.
Devin Dena split wide to the left. Kanab play action. It goes to the right. And that's an incomplete pass in the direction of Jaden Cavazos. A little too high. Great defensive effort there by the Tigers.
I noticed, Joe, going back to last week, this is what we kind of saw from the Panthers as far as passing the football. They kept everything short and simple. You know what I mean? And then eventually Coach Salinas will open things up a little bit and maybe throw a little bit more down the field. So who knows? This is probably part of his chess match to get Mercedes to bite maybe later in the game.
Well, we got 3rd and 6. 3 receivers wide to the right. He's got a receiver wide open in the middle, and that's Cavazos. And Cavazos makes the grab, and he is dropped at the 25-yard line. A pickup of 21 yards on that play. As you just mentioned, Mike, about opening up the field, a chess match, and that's exactly what they did right there. They found an opening, a soft spot in the middle of the field, and, of course, Leal finds Jaden Cavazos wide open. So here we go, 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. This time Cavazos is in at quarterback, Jacob, and he's looking for some room on the right side of the field. He breaks a tackle and is forced out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. So that's going to be a pickup of about 3, bringing up a 2nd down and 7 from the 22-yard line.
Yeah, when you can have a quarterback that can run the football like that, using his athletic ability there, I mean, it's just a bonus there, having a guy like him.
2nd down and 7. Snap is on the ground, but Cavazos picks it up, and he's finding some room up the middle, and he's brought down at the 6-yard line. A big run for Jacob Cavazos. A snap that was low. He one-hopped it, picked it up, and ran with it. As you were talking about in our pregame, Mike, you said he had great vision of the field. That's a perfect example of what this young man sees. Handoff is made to Kanab, but there was movement, so that ball is going to be moved back 5 yards. And speaking of this young man, Cavazos, he's just a sophomore, but he comes from some very good lineage.
Yeah, I mean, he's a member of that junior Little League team that advanced to the World Series when they were in middle school. And so when you talk about the big stage, that's what I mean, that nothing frightens them, nothing scares them as far as playing in front of 10,000 people. That team went on to become Southwest Region Junior League champions and went on to play against fierce competition up in Michigan. I mean, that's just a wonderful experience and a big accomplishment for the community and for the school district, because they were all members of WISD school district. And, I mean, we're talking guys like Jaden Cavazos was a member of that team. Kanab. I mean, there's a list of guys.
All right, speaking of Kanab, they fake the handoff to him. Cavazos has it, and he's dropped at the 15. So a 2nd play in a row in which they have moved the ball back. Remember, they started off 1st and goal from the 5-yard penalty, moved them back to the 12-yard line, and then Cavazos is hit in the backfield for another 3-yard loss, so that's going to bring up a 2nd and goal from the 15-yard line. If I'm not mistaken, this young man is Sonny Cavazos' nephew.
Yes, that is correct. He is the son of Jaime Cavazos, who was also a great athlete in high school.
Cavazos has the ball, fakes the pass, he keeps it. He's running up the middle, he's got some room, and he's finally brought down at the 3-yard line. A pickup of about 12 on that play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and goal from the 2 is where they're going to spot it. So it's going to be a pickup of 13.
This is the first big decision of the night for Coach Salinas. Let's see if he goes for it. He has a new kicker in there who we saw in warm-ups kick the ball very, very well.
Again, we're going to move that ball back. This no-huddle offense isn't finding themselves set when they are deep in Tiger territory. This is the 2nd time we are inside the 10-yard line. Actually, the 3rd time we're inside the 10-yard line, and they move them back 5 yards, do a false start. So instead of 3rd and goal from the 2, it's 3rd and goal from the 7.
And it changes everything as far as play calling is concerned. I mean, now 3rd and goal from the 7, you know, you think they're probably going to throw the ball, or, you know what I mean, we don't know. But, I mean, it does change the mentality a little bit, and it does make it easier for the Tigers as well. And so let's see what Coach Salinas calls here.
Well, you got 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Cavazos is going to roll out to his right. Kanab stays in the block. The pass is on its way to Jaden Cavazos, and that ball is a little low, and it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up a 4th down and goal for the Panthers. And speaking of that sophomore group, Jaden Cavazos is another kid that was on that baseball team as well.
Yeah, and I mean, he made some big-time catches last week. And so, again, the more players you have that have played in a big stage like Weslaco has, I mean, it really helps them out when they play varsity football.
Ball is going to be placed at the 14-yard line for a field goal, and the kick is up, and it is good. So the Panthers on both possessions to start the game have put points on the board. First one was a touchdown. This one was a 24-yard field goal. So now with 6:23 to go here in the first quarter, it is the Weslaco Panthers 10, the Mercedes Tigers 0.
And, well, yeah, the field goal, a big-time boost here. I know last week they had a few problems with the extra points here, so it's good to see that young man being able to split the uprights there to give Weslaco three more points and make it a 2-possession game here in the first quarter.
We've got 6:23 to go here in the first, and it is the Panthers 10, the Tigers 0. The Panthers starting off this game in excellent field position. Their first possession started off at the 3-yard line of the Tigers, and they were able to punch it in for 6. This second possession started at the 45-yard line, and they were able to go down to the field and get 3 points. So good opening, way to start the game for the Weslaco Panthers.
And the big plays occurred when Marco Leal hit Jaden Cavazos there for a 21-yard reception, and then we had a 13-yard run by Jacob Cavazos there to put them inside the 10.
So the Weslaco Panthers will be kicking for the 3rd time in the first half of the first quarter. So back deep are 2 Tiger returnmen. They are lining up at the 5-yard line. Our kicker got everybody set, and the kick is on its way. It's in the direction of Matthew Ledesma. Ledesma's got it at the 5-yard line. He's going to bring it out to about the 19.
And once again, the Tigers start behind the red zone, behind the 20-yard line. And let me tell you why that was a great kick, Joe, because where he kicked it in a corner, and that ball bounced and bounced and bounced, but it was a live ball. So that gave the coverage team an opportunity to get down there, and it gave the Tiger returning team, in their mind, should I get it, should I not get it? Those few seconds count, and that helped the Panthers there get down there.
All right, so Mark Ledesma in at quarterback. He's got Gracia in the backfield. He keeps the ball. He's running out to his right. Got nowhere to go, but he breaks a tackle, and he's going to be hit out of bounds. Well, he's knocked out of bounds, better yet. From our vantage point, it looked like he was hit out of bounds, but that's why we're not on the field calling the game.
Yeah, it turned out to be a 6-yard gain there, but, the young man would look like he was coming out of bounds, and, as a defender, you're taught to, you play until the whistle blows, and
correct.
And if he's in bounds, you deliver that hit.
So a good 6-yard pickup by the quarterback, who was able to get around the corner. Didn't look like he was going to get anywhere, but he broke that first tackle, and he got 6 yards on the play. So 2nd and 4. Handoff to Gracia. Gracia's got some running room. He's at the 30. 35, breaks it outside. He's got some runners. He's got some Panthers to beat. He hurdles one guy, and he's out to midfield. So the Tigers beginning to move the ball.
Axel Camarena there made the tackle, the junior. Another young man who was part of that junior Little League team made the probably touchdown saving tackle there for a big game. First down for the Tigers.
That is correct, Mike. That is the first down for the Tigers. They are at midfield. The quarterback is Mark Ledesma. He's got Gracia in the backfield with him. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. There's a snap. He's going to keep the ball. The quarterback does, Ledesma, and he's met at midfield, the line of scrimmage. He can maybe pick up 1 yard. We've got 2 different spots by the referee. One is at the 49, the other one is at the 50, so we'll see which one they will pick. They're going to say that there was no gain on that play, so the ball is going to be resting on the 50-yard line. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Well, that time the Panthers came on a run blitz from on top, and Ledesma took it up the middle, but the Panther defense was there to stop the run.
Same offensive formation for the Tigers. They got 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Gracia in the backfield with Ledesma. Ledesma takes a snap, looking for a receiver. He's got it up the middle. He is in the direction of Ryan Reyes, but again, just barely overthrows him. Ryan Reyes gets behind the Panther defense, and that's the second time that we see a Tiger receiver behind the Panther defense.
Man, Tiger fans are probably thinking right now, man, if we would have been able to hit a couple of those, we would have 14 points. That's probably what they're saying. And I'm sure that's what Coach Roger Adame is saying, too. The opportunities have been there. They've gone after the Weslaco Panthers secondary, and it just haven't been able to connect.
So that incomplete pass will bring up a 3rd down and 10 from the 50-yard line. We've got 5:04 to go here in the first quarter. Same offensive formation for the Tigers. Looks like the Panthers are sending a blitz, and they do. Tigers pick it up. Ledesma's going to run, and he loses the ball. The ball is on the ground, and the umpire is going to say that he recovered his own fumble, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
As you mentioned, Joe, the Panthers came with a blitz, and Ledesma did a pretty good job of escaping it. But, yeah, he was one tackler away from getting big-time yardage there. Yeah,
the Panthers doing a great job at keeping someone at bay there to make sure he did not get away. So the Tigers with a quick kick. Nobody back for the Panthers. Ball hits at the 19 and takes a Panther bounce. And the referee's going to say that it was downed at the 20-yard line. So this is the worst field position of the night for the Panthers.
Yeah, let's see how the Panthers do now, now having to earn their yards here versus starting from great field position. And I'm sure the Tiger fans are saying, geez, good, we need something like this to happen. And so, yeah, again, this is a good test for this new offense. You start at the 20-yard line on the road, first road game of the year. In front of a hostile environment. Let's see how they respond.
Well, we got Marco Leal back in at quarterback. He's got Matthew De Santiago in the backfield with him. The handoff is to De Santiago. Santiago cuts to his left, and he's going to pick up 4 yards. A good cutback there by De Santiago.
And a great job by the offensive line with terrific blocking up the middle. Number 64 there. That's your left guard. That's a Matthew Lopez. He ran right through his alley there, and we're able to get some pretty good yards here.
So the Panthers 2nd down and 6 from the 24-yard line. Leal, the quarterback, De Santiago in the backfield with them. Again, the handoff is to De Santiago. This time he does not cut back, but goes up that same hole behind the right tackle, and he's going to pick up 3 yards on that play up to the 27-yard line, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 with 3:42 to go here in the first quarter. So De Santiago back-to-back handoffs, 7 yards here to start their 3rd offensive series.
And Marco is remains the quarterback here. So, the previous series we would see Jacob and Marco, take turns and switch, but Marco has been the only quarterback here.
All right, De Santiago stays to block, and there's some pressure. Leal has nowhere to go and smartly runs out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. That's a loss of 5 yards, so that's going to bring up a 4th down and about 8. They're going to say back to the 21-yard line, so that'll bring up a 4th down and 9. So the first time that the Panthers are forced to 3 and out.
You said something that was very important here. Smartly goes out of bounds here. You don't need to force anything. You're up 10-0. The defense is playing well. Just punt the ball and let your defense do their job here. And Joe, the quarterbacks are very, very intelligent. Marco and Jacob, they have not turned the ball over in the first 4.5 quarters that we've played football.
Matthew Ledesma takes the punt at the 42-yard line. There's a flag on the play, and that's going to be a low block by the Tigers, and that's going to take the ball back. Ledesma with a return all the way to the 40-yard line of the Panthers, but a flag on the play is going to nullify the return and set it back. The punter is Jacob Cavazos, and I don't know if you've noticed this, Mike, but he does like a soccer-style running punt.
Yeah, that rugby style.
Rugby, that's what I was looking at.
Yeah. And so what happens is he gets the ball, and then he kind of moves to his right because he's right-handed or right-left, right-footed, and then he kicks the ball there. We see a lot of that nowadays versus the old school where they would just get the ball and just kick it right up there. And what happens is when you do the rugby style, for those few seconds, it makes the defense think, is he going to throw it? And him being a quarterback, you kind of wonder, like, geez, is he going to throw it? You know, because you never know, sooner or later down the road, later in the season, he may just very well do that.
Or run with the ball, because this kid has, like I said last week, had 2 rushing touchdowns in at quarterback. So the Tigers taking it 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line. Ledesma has the ball flushed out of the pocket to his right, looking for a receiver. Still doesn't have anybody. He's going to tuck it and run. And again, we see these quarterbacks being very smart, Mike, and running out of bounds, picking up what they can get, and then smartly running out of bounds. They're going to mark it about the 37-yard line, so that's going to be a pickup of 6 yards. So it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 4 from the 37-yard line.
Big number 79 there on the pursuit, hustling there, chasing the fast Mark Ledesma. They're doing a wonderful job. But, yeah, the Tigers, unfortunately for them, got that penalty. That's really hurt them. They were going to have good field position, but, yeah, now they're back there in the 37-yard line.
Tigers will have 3 receivers down to the right. Got Gracia in the backfield. He's going to stay to block. Ledesma looking. He's got a receiver to the left side. The ball's in the air, and it is incomplete. No, they're going to say he caught it. They are going to say he caught it at the 31-yard line, and a great grab under pressure is Leroy Garcia with the reception for the Tigers at the 29-yard line.
You know what the amazing thing, Joe, is that was actually very, very good coverage there by Axel Carmena there, and how fitting that the more difficult pass, the more difficult throw is the one they catch versus the other opportunities they had where there was receivers wide open and they couldn't connect.
Same offensive formation. Handoff is to Gracia. Gracia up the middle is going to get up to about the 26-yard line. Pickup of 3. Bring up a 2nd down and 7.
And that previous play was a 34-yard gain by the Tigers. Biggest play of the night.
And that's the first completion for Ledesma tonight.
And first down for them.
2nd first down.
Oh, 2nd. Correct.
Yes.
You're right.
So here we go. 2nd down and 7 from the 26-yard line. 2:08 to go here in the first quarter. And the Tigers with the ball and on the move. Gracia in the backfield. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers to the left. The handoff is to Gracia. Nope, Ledesma's going to keep it. He's at the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and Ledesma is in for the touchdown. The first touchdown of the night for the Tigers comes on a quarterback keeper, and the Tigers are on the board for the first time tonight.
That time the Panthers got burned, they had a blitz up the middle, and Ledesma was able to read that blitz and went to the other side of it, went up the middle, and took it to the house. There was nobody in front of him, and the Tigers are right back in this ball game.
Tigers lining up for the point after. Matthew Ledesma has got the hold. I believe it's going to be Luis Munoz for the extra point attempt. The kick is up, and it is through the uprights, and it is good. We've got 1:51 to go here in the opening quarter, and it is now the Weslaco Panthers 10, the Mercedes Tigers 7. We'll be right back with more Friday Night Light action right here on your home for sports, K-West.
Before Rene Hinojosa became a business executive, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. He participated in UIL academics, designed the original Wildcats logo, was an all-state academic middle linebacker. He then played for the Longhorns, graduating with a business degree from UT. Now he's the Director of Strategic Development at Doctors Hospital at Renaissance. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Rene Hinojosa, WISD was the right choice.
Welcome back to Tiger Stadium here in Mercedes, Texas. K-West bringing you Weslaco Panther football. We got 1:51 to go here in the first quarter, and it is your Weslaco Panthers 10, Mercedes Tigers 7. I am Joe Aguilar, joined tonight by Mike Gonzalez.
Yeah, that drive, Joe, the Tigers scored was 4 plays, 69 yards, a little over a minute. And, yeah, this team very quickly are very explosive, and they showed it right there. The key play was that 34-yard pass from Mark Ledesma to Leroy Garcia.
Luis Munoz on the kick. The kick is up and away. It's a short one in the direction of Kanab. He's going to take it on one hop at about the 16-yard line, looking for some running room up the middle. He goes all the way across the field. He's got some running room. He's got one guy to beat. He hits around the corner and is finally brought down at about the 39-yard line. That was about 60-yard run for him to gain about 18.
Yeah, I know, from one side of the field to the other. I mean, that was just a great athletic move there. Took that one bouncer there, and in my mind, I was thinking, shoot, he had let the ball go out of bounds, and that would have been a penalty against Mercedes. But no, he just let the talent take over, got the one bounce, and just went to the other side and got a really good return.
Yeah, I thought he was looking for maybe a wedge in the middle, but he just kept going outside and was able to use his athleticism and his speed to get around and bring it out to the 36-yard line. So that's where the Panthers will begin this fourth offensive series of the night for them. We've got Jacob Gossel in at quarterback, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and just like that, once again, we've got a false start for the Panthers. Kanab is in at running back with Cavazos. One of the things that I have noticed, Mike, is that you're going to have De Santiago and Leal in the backfield and Kanab and Cavazos in the backfield.
Right. I mean, that's just different looks that Coach Salinas like to represent, kind of utilizing the talents that these kids have.
All right, we'll repeat first down. Cavazos keeps the ball. This time he's going to run out his right side, and he's going to pick up about 5 yards, brought down by Eric Hinojosa. They're going to say maybe 3 yards is what they're going to give him. So Eric Hinojosa defensively for the Tigers brings down Cavazos quickly because, of course, we've seen the explosiveness of Cavazos in at quarterback when he does decide to run.
And in a way, that's kind of been a bread and butter play. So far in this early part of the season, it's just give Cavazos the ball, let him operate, and just let him run with it, and it's worked pretty well.
Cavazos dropping back, looking for a receiver. He keeps the ball, looking out to his right. He breaks a tackle. Now he's running, looking for some running room, and he's going to get back to about the line of scrimmage, maybe pick up a yard. But very good vision of the field, very good athleticism, but more importantly, he held onto the ball.
Yeah, very smart. I mean, he probably had a receiver downfield, didn't want to force it, decided to run with it, was able to escape the blitz and turn, minus yardage to, +1 back to the line of scrimmage. And
well, they're going to give him 1 yard on that play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 11. This time Marco Leal is in at quarterback. Kanab is going to stay back there. Leal back to pass. He's got a receiver in the middle, and that's just a little bit long in the direction of Devin Dena. Defensively for the Tigers was Ivan Vela, so that's going to bring up a 4th down situation for the Panthers. And the Panthers, for the 2nd time in a row, are forced to punt here tonight.
Yeah, the Tiger defense now stepping up, but perhaps making the adjustments they need to make to stop this Weslaco offense that started off great. And, Marco Leal going deep. And, it was double covered, actually. So let's see what the Tigers do now.
Matthew Ledesma back to return this punt. Cavazos struggles with the snap, but he gets the punt away, and it takes a Panther bounce and is still rolling back all the way to about the 19-yard line where it comes to a complete halt. But that ball hit at about the 38-yard line and rolled back about 19, and that's because of that rugby-style kick. And one of the things that's dangerous about that kind of a kick for the opponents is that you're running backwards and that ball is coming low and it just might hit you, kind of like what happened on that kickoff last week.
Right. And what happens is they're not looking at it. They're looking at the guy they're covering, so it could very well hit them, and perhaps that's the reason why they do that.
It very well could be. That's a question we could have for Mike Salinas. So here we go. The Tigers with the football at the 19-yard line. Ledesma is the quarterback. Handoff is made. And that's going to be about 3 or 4 yards for the running back. I can't see his number.
Well, they ran to the
That's going to be
side.
Sonny Vela.
Okay.
Sonny Vela is in at running back. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. So we've played one here in Mercedes, and it is a good one. It is your Weslaco Panthers 10, the Mercedes Tigers 7. We'll be back with second quarter action right here on K-West.
Before Harlan Block raised the flag over Iwo Jima, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. There he played for the Panthers, won a championship, and learned some of the leadership skills he and 7 other students used while serving in the Marines. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prominent graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For war hero Harlan Block, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
Ivan Vela, the secondary guy's little brother. Welcome back to Mercedes, Texas. We're at Tiger Stadium bringing you Weslaco Panther football. The Panthers and the Tigers. We are going to begin second quarter here. Ledesma, the quarterback, fakes the handoff to Vela. Vela stays in the block. Ball is on its way, and it is caught. A great reception by Ryan Reyes, his second reception of the night, out to the 31-yard line. That's going to be another Tiger first down.
Yeah, it seemed to me like the corners there kind of started tight, then played a little bit back, and so they just ran a quick slant to the inside and got a first down.
So the chains will move for the Tigers, and it's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line. Three receivers to the left, one to the right. Vela in at quarterback. And at running back with the quarterback, Ledesma. Handoff is to Vela. Vela looking for some running room on the left. He's got a little bit. The ball is loose, and it looks like the Panthers have it. The ball is still loose, and it looks like the Panthers have it again. And by all signs on the field, it is a Panther football, and big number 99, Tony Estevane, comes out of the rubble with the football. So the Panthers, with their second turnover of the night, are going to begin field position in how it started. The first two possessions were in Tiger territory, and the last two were not in Tiger territory, in their own territory, but this time they're going to start in Tiger territory yet once again. Try to say that again.
Yeah, tell me about it. I'll tell you what, special teams setting the tone early on. Now the defense, the first play, or actually the second play of the second quarter, makes a play, giving the offense the great field position to the Mercedes 35-yard line.
So 1st and 10 for the Panthers with 11:24 to go here in the second quarter. And again, a motion penalty charge to the Panthers. De Santiago and Leal back in the backfield for the Panthers.
I have that as a fourth false start of the night, and we're only in the second quarter, early in the second quarter. So, yeah, those little mistakes make it a little bit difficult there for the offense.
So here we go, first down and 15. Handoff is to Santiago, looking for some running room on the left. Not much, and he's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. The Tigers really extending the defense and pursuing De Santiago, not allowing him to cut up the field. And so he stopped for no gain at the 40, bringing up a 2nd down and 15.
I tell you what, Matthew Santiago is not the biggest guy on the field, but I tell you what, he wasn't afraid to take those hits. So the Tigers were there on defense, delivered the little punch there or the little tackle, and he took it. And I got to give him a lot of credit for that.
That's for certain. There was about 3 or 4 black jerseys out there ready to take him down. So here we go, 2nd down and 15 from the 40-yard line. Leal takes a snap, looking down the field, nowhere to go. He tucks it. He's running. He's across the line of scrimmage, and he's only going to pick up 1 yard. Great job there by Eric Hinojosa. Hinojosa does a great job coming from his safety position to put people down and to keep them from gaining any more yardage.
And speaking of Eric Hinojosa, check this out, Joe. Last week, 10 tackles, 8 solo, 3 sacks. He was our top tackler last year. Just an outstanding job there.
Well, it shows here tonight. So 3rd down and 14 for the Panthers from from the Tiger 39-yard line. Blitz is on its way. It is a screen to Kanab, and he is brought down by Raul Artiaga. Artiaga does not make that tackle, and that's a big play for the Panthers.
Big time, big time. It looked like the Panthers there had a screen set up. They were going to get some big-time yardage, but, yeah, give that young man credit for making that open field tackle, because you're right. If it wasn't for him, Canuck might have scored, at least would have gotten a first down. And so now we have another 4th down here. What is Coach Salinas going to do?
4th down and 9 from the 34-yard line. Little too far, in my opinion, for a field goal, so they are going to go for it. Leal, the quarterback. The handoff, it's on the ground. Regardless of whether or not the Tigers recover it, it's still going to be Tiger football. But it does look like the Tigers did recover it. And I'm going to say that Juan Morales is the gentleman that came up with the football. So Leal not able to take that snap cleanly. Don't know if it was a little early or if he was already looking at the play trying to develop, but the ball was on the ground on 4th down, so the Tigers are going to take over at their own 38-yard line. We've got 9:21 to go here in the first half, and the Panthers lead this one 10-7.
It looked like the Panthers were going to do some kind of gadget
Reverse.
play there, some kind of reverse or something, and, it didn't work out for them. They lost the football there.
Ledesma, the quarterback, fakes it to Gracia. Ball, pump in the air to his brother, Matthew, and it is caught. Mark Ledesma to Matthew Ledesma from the 38-yard line all the way down to the 25-yard line. He hit him in stride, double coverage, but the Panthers able to bring him down at the 25-yard line to stop a potential touchdown.
It might have even been triple coverage, and he actually had Leroy Garcia wide open down here down by the sideline there, but elected to throw it to his brother, having that chemistry down. Big-time gain for the Tigers there.
That is his favorite target, and he is not shy in letting you know that.
That was a 37-yard gain.
Second big play of the night for the Tigers. So here we go. Gracia in at running back. Ledesma fakes the handoff, runs out to his right side. He's got some running room inside the 20-15 down to about the 10-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. They're going to spot it at the 10-yard line. So we don't know if it's on this side of the 10-yard line or that side of the 10-yard line. That'll determine whether or not there's an opportunity for a first down, and they're going to lay down the chain. So it's going to be first and goal from the 10.
Once you get the passing game down, that opens up the running lanes, and Ledesma there found an open hole there and got his big yardage there.
So here go the Tigers. 3 men to the left, 1 to the right. You got Gracia in at running back with the quarterback, Mark Ledesma. Panthers showing blitz on the right side. They bring the right end in, and it's handed off to Gracia. Gracia's inside to about the 7-yard line for a pickup of 3. The Panthers blitzing the safety on the right side, but the Tigers bringing it right behind the left tackle.
Yeah, the Panthers staying aggressive there on the defense, and Gracia wasn't able to get away from it, and he did get a few yards here, but the Panther defense got a turnover in the last possession. Let's see if they can make a stop here.
We got second down and goal from the 7-yard line. Gracia in at running back. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers to the left. Ledesma the quarterback. The Panthers show blitz, and again they do blitz. Gracia runs into his own guy, but he's able to break a few tackles and get down to about the 1-yard line. Little confusion there by both teams, the offense and the defense. But the good thing about that play for the Tigers was that Gracia, regardless, he had the football and just decided to keep running.
He just followed his lineman, and just try to find some room, and almost took it all the way here. So we got third down and goal here.
From the 2, so that's a pickup of 5.
And for the first time, we have both sides of the fans getting into the game now.
Well, the Panthers opened it up early for a 10-0 lead. The Tigers came back to pull it to within 3 with a touchdown of their own, and now are knocking at the door to maybe take the lead here. Third down and 3 from the 2, but we do have a flag on the play. And it's against the Panthers. So half the distance to the goal is going to be 1 yard, so it'll be third down and goal from the 1.
Well, that rarely happens, a 1-yard penalty, but that's what we have here. Half the distance to the goal. You're inside the 10 or inside the red zone, and so you go from the 2 to the 1.
Yeah. Third and goal from the 1. 6:40 to go here in the first half. Gracia is the running back with the quarterback, Mark Ledesma. 3 receivers to the left. Ledesma's going to keep it. He's got open room on the right side of the field, goes into the end zone untouched for the second touchdown of the night. And now the Tigers lead this one 13-10, pending the point after.
So far, it's been the show of Mark Ledesma and then Jacob Cavazos for Weslaco. Both quarterbacks making a difference in this game for both offenses. And, yeah, I mean, just a terrific job by the Tigers there. 5-play drive, getting that loss of down or turnover, whatever it was, 62 yards. And now they have the lead.
Yeah, the point after is good. That is Luis Munoz with the point after. So with 6:28 to go here in the second quarter, it is now the Mercedes Tigers 14, the Weslaco Panthers 10.
Before Clarissa Renteria was a dentist, she was a student at Weslaco ISD. She was a cheerleader, played softball, and started college early through the dual enrollment program. She graduated from UTPA before earning her degree from the University of Texas School of Dentistry in Houston. Now she is Dr. Renteria, creating beautiful smiles at Professional Dental Group. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Dr. Clarissa Renteria, WISD was the right choice.
Peyton Kanab back deep to return the kickoff of the Tigers. On to kick for the Tigers, Luis Munoz. The Tigers are set. The Panthers are set. And we are getting ready for the kick. The kick is away. It's a short one. Hops at about the 25 and is picked up at the 20 by Andrew Olguin. Andrew Olguin brings it out to about the 32-yard line.
We're seeing some terrific tackling by both teams in this game. This is Mid-Valley football at its best here. You know, we're seeing it in all phases of the game, from the offense to the defense and special teams here.
Well, when you've got rivalries, as they always say, records are thrown off the paper.
Right.
And it's just about heart, because both teams want to win, and that's the kind of football game you want to see. So here we go, the Panthers with the football at their own 33-yard line. 1st and 10, 6:13 to go here in the first half. We've got Cavazos in at quarterback. Handoff. No, he's going to keep it. He's got some running room, and he's across the 40 to about the 41-yard line. Mike, you were talking about Cavazos and his running ability just a little while ago, right after the Ledesma touchdown, and quickly we are watching it.
Yeah, now Cavazos is saying, watch me do this. And, yeah, a great start to this drive, a 9-yard gain there.
2nd 1. This time he does hand it off to De Santiago. De Santiago is going to pick his way across. No, he's going to be stopped at the 45-yard line, so that's going to be enough for a first down. Nope, they are going to say 46. So it's going to be spotted at the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. It's been a while since we've said that.
Since probably midway through the first quarter. Yeah, you're right.
So the Panthers have moved the chains, and now we've got motion again. That's going to be number 5, Mike.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That is tough, but it's a very young offensive line that is still learning the system. They're still learning about snap counts. They're still learning about pass protection, and it's a different run blocking scheme too. So, you know, these little things, you know,
they add up.
They add up, and it's non-district, and
they're learning no huddle.
Right.
You were talking about that earlier tonight. So here we go, 2nd down. I'm sorry, we're going to repeat 1st down. 1st and 15 from the 41-yard line. Cavazos is the quarterback. It's going to be a quarterback draw, looking for some running room. He cuts through the middle. He's got running room. He's across midfield to the 40. He is finally brought down at about the 37-yard line. Coming to bring him down from behind is Ivan Vela. If Ivan Vela doesn't track him down, Cavazos is off to the races.
And you know what, Joe? The thing about it is it appeared to me like he was going to come down the sideline. What does he do? He goes back to the inside. This young man is not afraid of contact at all. I mean, Tigers were there chasing him, and he takes the punishment, but he doesn't mind.
So back-to-back first downs for the Panthers. This time it's handed off to Kanab. Kanab breaks some tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Some good, tough running there by Kanab. And he's going to pick up about 1 yard on that play, because that play looked like it was going to be a -3.
Yeah, another young man that has the capability of running the open field. And, the Tigers really had to go after him there, and were able to stop him for just 1 yard.
So here we go, 2nd down and 9 from the 34-yard line of the Tigers. Panthers 3 receivers to the right. Cavazos is going to keep the ball. He's got some running room up the middle across the 30 to about the 28-yard line. Cavazos, as you just said a little while ago, Mike, is not afraid of contact, because every run that we've seen Cavazos take originates or begins running up the middle.
And I tell you what, if it wasn't for that last tackler there was nothing in front of him. He probably would have scored there.
And that's the 2nd time that we've got someone catching him from behind and saving a touchdown. Again, quarterback draw. Cavazos with some running room across the 35 down to the 21-yard line, and that's going to be another Panther first down.
And you can tell that was designed, because as soon as he got the ball, he immediately took off right down the middle, got his 7 yards, and now here comes the Panthers, right 1 yard shy of the red zone, driving in.
That's a 2nd quarterback draw of the drive. So here we go. 1st and 10 for the Panthers from the 21-yard line. Kanab with the handoff inside the 20 to the 16-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 4, because they're going to say he was down at the 17.
Every play has been a run so far in this drive.
Well, one of the things that I have noticed when Cavazos is in at quarterback, it's more of a design-to-run type of offense.
Right up the gut, right down the middle.
So here we go. De Santiago in at running back. They give the ball to De Santiago. He's met at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to power his way down for a maybe 2 yards. They're going to say at the 15. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4.
Big 3rd down here. Panthers doing a great job in this drive. Yes, they had a penalty. They were able to overcome that. Now, can they keep this drive alive here? Something tells me this is 4 down territory.
That's going to be 3:08, and the clock is running. Cavazos the quarterback. De Santiago. It's a quarterback draw again. This time the Tigers sniff it out, but Cavazos is able to use his athletic ability to avoid some tackles and get inside the 15 to about the 12-yard line, and that's going to be 1 yard shy of the first down. So that's going to be 4th down and 1, Mike, right now, right before this play. You said this is 4 down territory. It just might be. They're bringing in some pretty big boys to solidify that offensive line here.
Yeah.
They're bringing in Austin Cardenas to help out.
Only 2 receivers there, so that means there's, 2 tight ends?
There we go. Handoff is made to De Santiago. De Santiago is brought down at the 2-yard line. Ivan Vela with the tackle. You talked about that right now, Mike, right before they ran, that there was going to be a running play, and definitely it was. Panthers, again, like you said, Mike, are running the football.
You know, and as I mentioned, you kind of get the sense that the Panthers are kind of huffing and puffing because they've been on the field a lot in the Tigers with their no-huddle offense. Now we're seeing Weslaco do the same thing, and now the Tigers are forced to call a timeout because I think they're also huffing and puffing a little bit. It's still very hot here, so you know, the players, you know, they get tired faster and they need, you know, a drink of water. They need a break. And, you know, the Panthers with their up-tempo offense are wearing them down, and they're doing it just running right up the middle. Let's see how many plays we have here. 1, 2, 3, 5,
Well,
6,
the other reason you want to call a timeout, Mike, is because they have been running, and on every run play, it's been for positive yards. You have not yet been able to stop them, and now they're at your own 2-yard line knocking on the door. What are you going to do? And so that's why Coach Adame wants to call a timeout and say, wait a minute, guys, you guys have been allowing them to push you back. They're only 2 more yards away from putting this game back on their side.
Right, right. And now this is the 11th play of the drive. They've already chewed over, 4 minutes. So just a well-executed drive by the Panthers.
Handoff to De Santiago. De Santiago in for the touchdown. 2-yard touchdown run by Santiago to give the Panthers the lead once again. It is now 16-14 pending the point after. They're sending on the field goal unit to attempt the point after, number 78. We don't have a name on the roster for him, but if memory serves me correctly, this is a brand new gentleman they brought onto the field. They were making sure everything was in order for him before they gave him a jersey and a helmet, and the kick is away, and it is good. So with 2:18 to go here in the first half, it is now the Panthers with the lead. 17-14. We'll be back.
At this very moment on the campuses of Texas A&M, we are committed to creating new teaching methods to help children with autism find their voice. Coming up with new cures to fight cancer by treating it in man's best friend. And developing innovative smart grids to power the cities of tomorrow. So when called to take on the world's challenges, we don't hesitate. We step up.
Welcome back to Tigers Stadium. We've got 2:18 to go here in the first half, and the Panthers have regained the lead. They are up 17-14 after a great drive capped off by a 2-yard touchdown run by Matthew De Santiago.
Yeah, 11 plays, 67 yards, chewed up 4:02 of the play clock. This is Michael Salinas football at its best.
All right, the kickoff is away, and it looks like it's going to go out of bounds. It was headed in the direction of Sonny Vela. Sonny Vela now back deep for the Tigers. Not any opportunity for him to bring that back, as it did go straight out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. So they're going to take it at the 25.
Yeah, I mean, we've had the kicker doing an excellent job kicking the ball there for, the first 3 or 4 kicks he's had, but that time the ball goes out of bounds, and so that will put the ball
at the 30, I'm sorry.
At the 30-yard line. Yeah, I think they changed the rule a couple of years ago.
To the 30.
Yeah, it used to be the 25, right? And then I think they changed it, and so now the Tigers will operate here with 2:18 left. This is where an up-tempo offense. They bring in that 2-minute offense, and it's just boom, 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 boom. This team that's been on 7-on-7 year in and year out, they're used to this kind of style. So this is a very good test for the Panther defense right now.
Tigers with 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Gracia in at running back with the quarterback Ledesma. Ledesma's going to roll out to his right. Gracia stays to block. Ledesma looking to his left. Now he's got some pressure. He evades the tacklers, and he's at the 30, 35, 40. He's going to run out of bounds at the 41-yard line, picking up 11 yards on that play, and we have a helmet on the field. Jesse Ramos pursuing Mark Ledesma, and he was just running so hard that he lost his helmet. So they're going to say that he ran out of bounds at the 42-yard line, so it's going to be spotted at the 42, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers because he ran out of bounds. The clock will stop with 2:09 to go here in the second quarter. Same offensive formation for the Tigers. Snap is away. Gracia stays in the block. Ledesma rolls to his right. He's got a receiver, but a little bit of a confusion on the route. The intended receiver was Ryan Reyes, but Ryan Reyes broke inside. I think Ledesma was expecting him to break outside.
Yeah, absolutely. And, by the time both teammates knew what was going to happen, the ball was already in the air, and the Panthers almost got another break there, which would have been huge.
Yeah, Tommy Esquivel out there playing cornerback saw that ball. Had it been thrown maybe on target, that could have been picked off, and that might have been a pick 6, but it was a little high, so he wasn't able to bring that one down. So here we go. 2nd down and 10, 2:03 to go here in the second quarter. Snap is away. Ledesma rolls out to his right. Good blocking. Has room. Has time. Looking for someone. He gets rid of the ball, and it is caught at about the 47-yard line. Looks like that's going to be Reyes again.
3rd down, 3rd and 7 for the Tiger offense.
Reyes, that's his 3rd reception of the night, if I'm not mistaken. But that's going to be spotted at the 45, so a pickup of 3 yards going to bring up a 3rd down and 7. 1:54 to go here in the second quarter.
And because that ball was thrown toward the sideline, Reyes was able to go out of bounds there to stop the clock again.
So this time they're going to invert the formation. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Gracia in at running back. Ledesma, the quarterback. Panthers showing blitz, and they do blitz. They pick it up. The Tigers do. Now under pressure is Ledesma, and he's got nowhere to throw the ball and gets rid of it, throws it where nobody is at, but in the direction of Reyes. So an incomplete pass is going to bring up a 4th down and 7 for the Tigers. We got 1:48 to go here in the first half. Mike, what do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to go for it?
I would be surprised if they do go for it. I think it's only 17-14. There's still a lot of football left. I would think if you're Mercedes, you would punt the ball. But, let's see what they do.
You're right. They are going to punt the ball. The Panthers send no one back there. The punt is going to hit at the 21-yard line, and it takes a Panther bounce and finds its way to the end zone. So with 1:40 to go, the Panthers were going to take over at the 20-yard line. So we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back with second quarter action right here on KWES.
No, I'm curious to see what Coach Salinas is going to do.
Bring in Leal and throw the ball a little bit.
They got 3 timeouts.
Yeah, they got all 3 timeouts. The Tigers are the only ones that have used 1. Welcome back to Tiger Stadium. 1:40 to go. 1st and 10 for the Panthers after they stop the Tigers. And the handoff is made to Kanab. Kanab from the 20-yard line finds some room off the left side all the way to the 35-yard line, maybe the 36. We'll see where they spot it. They will spot it at the 36-yard line, so that's going to be a pickup of 16. Mike, you asked what Mike Salinas is going to do. He's going to do what they've been doing, run the ball. So Cavazos in at quarterback. 3 receivers to the right, nobody to the left. This time they're going to hand it off again to Kanab. Kanab looking for some running room. He is going to be stopped after about a 5-yard pickup at about the 41-yard line. So it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 5. The clock is moving with 1:10 to go here in the second quarter. Cavazos is in at quarterback. Again, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Kanab is the running back. He stays to block. This time Cavazos is going to keep the ball. He's going to run. And a great job by the cornerback. He sniffed that one out all the way. And this is the first time, I believe, I may be mistaken, Mike, but the first time Cavazos has dropped for a loss.
Yeah, I think you're right. Looking at the score sheet, he's had positive yards in every single carry, and we're talking 11 carries here. So the Tigers are doing a great job stopping him there, and the clock is keep on ticking, and Salinas is not calling timeout. So you wonder if maybe he'll just kind of take this score into the dressing room here.
Cavazos drops back, looking for a receiver. He's got one. The ball is on its way, and it is dropped. Intended for Jaden Cavazos, so that incomplete pass will stop the clock with 23 seconds to go here in the first half.
Yeah, that was interesting there because, as you mentioned, the clock stopped. So now, if you're Mercedes, you're in position now to perhaps at least get a return here and see what happens. If you're able to get productive yards here and you get good field position, perhaps you can set yourself something up for a score.
Well, Ledesma is a very dangerous return man. This guy's got a lot of speed and he's got a lot of experience. So Cavazos in the punt. Ledesma waiting for the return at the 30. The ball's going to hit at the 36-yard line. It's going to take a Panther bounce. It's going to find its way all the way down to the 21. It's going to stop, and that's where the Panthers will down the ball with 13 seconds to go here in the first half.
As mentioned, Mercedes has 2 timeouts here. So do you take the safe route and just take that 17-14 deficit into the dressing room, or do you take a shot down the field and see what happens?
We'll see what Coach Adama has up his sleeve because he's got a lot of weapons and they can quickly get someone down the field.
And as you can see here, the Panthers have about, 7 or 8 guys playing defensive back, protecting that field, not giving up the deep throw.
They have the quarter package back there.
Right.
Ledesma got two running backs in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to Sonny Vela. Sonny Vela's got some running room. 30-35 to about the 39-yard line. 18 yards on the run there for Sonny Vela, and they're just going to be content to let the clock run out. The clock only stops for the moving of the chains. The Tigers are making their way down to the Coach Adame area, but they did call a timeout. So we'll see if they try to sling one in the direction of the end zone. Well, that would be the only direction they would sling it, right?
That's the
because
only
they're
thing
not going to sling it backwards.
Yeah. And I'm sure the Panther defense will stick to that formation that we just saw earlier the quarters. So you had guys, 20, 25 yards back, and the Tigers will just, give it a shot. I mean, what's the worst that can happen other than getting an interception and somebody bringing it all the way back?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you always hear about the nickel and dime packages. Mm-hmm. That one looked like it was a quarter package.
Right.
So
or $1.
Or exactly. So here we go. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. 6 seconds left on the clock. This is going to be the last play of the first half, barring a penalty. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Gracia is in at running back with Ledesma. Ledesma, only 2 men rushing for the Panthers. Little razzle-dazzle to Ledesma. He's at the 40, 35. He is knocked out of bounds by Jake Espinosa. Jake Espinosa doing a great job of open field tackle to keep Ledesma from going any further. They're going to officially spot it at the 31-yard line, but that play is going to end the first half. We've played 2 quarters here at Tiger Stadium. It's a great game here. It is your Weslaco Panthers 17, the Mercedes Tigers 14. We'll be back with second half action right here on K-West.
Before David Lozano started practicing law, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. He participated in UIL athletics. He was a regional qualifier. He earned college credits through the dual enrollment program. After high school, he attended the University of Texas before graduating from St. Mary's School of Law. Now he helps people in need as an attorney. WISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For David Lozano, Weslaco ISD was the right choice. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Please help me in welcoming back your award-winning Dreamettes. This spring, the Dreamettes attended the Showtime International Dance Competition, where they claimed the Grand Champion title, the Sweepstakes Award, Best Pom, Best in Hip Hop. The Dreamettes also attended Showtime International Officer and Line Camp, where they received Division I's in home and camp routines. Officers also received Most Creative Choreography, Hardest Working, Staff Award, All-Star, and 5-star rated. The Dreamettes were also invited to attend the Macy's Parade, the Citrus Bowl, and the Alamo Bowl due to their excellence in performance at both competition and summer camp. Introducing your 2017 Dreamette officers, Lieutenant Heaven Benya, Lieutenant Veronica Rangel, Lieutenant Callista Robledo, Lieutenant Celeste Vasquez, First Lieutenant Cyan De La Garza, and the 2017 Major Trisha Noriega. Dreamette of the Week, Jaslyn Ramirez. Now, sit back and enjoy as the Dreamettes perform to a palm routine to an 80s rock mix. And introducing your 2017 Dreamette Major, Trisha Noriega.
Panther Nation, are you ready? Welcome to tonight's halftime performance. Taking the field is the award-winning Weslaco Panther Corps. The Panther Corps is under the full direction of Head Drum Major Emmanuel Lopez. Assistant Drum Majors are Alexis Gomez and Gabriela Sáenz. Tonight, the Panther Corps will be performing a portion of their 2017 UIL Pigskin Show entitled 007 Reloaded. First movement, Skyfall. Second movement, Target Terminated. And last but not least, the third movement, City of Lovers. And now, welcome to the amazing Tiger Country, Panther Nation. The Panther Corps proudly presents 007 Reloaded. Panther Corps is under the direction of Rodrigo Leal. Assistant band directors were Ron Lowe, Dr. Tom Sturzaker, Fabian Trevino, Ernesto Ortiz, Cecilia Perez, Ivan Perez, Michael Perez, Arturo Hinojosa, and the color guard sponsor, Karina Kenty.
Untouched in the end zone.
Welcome back to Tiger Stadium, where the roar of the crowd lets you know that we've got both teams running back onto the field after halftime. Our halftime score is your Weslaco Panthers 17, the Mercedes Tigers 14. The Weslaco Panthers jumped out to an early 10-0 lead on a couple of turnovers that they turned into points rather quickly.
Yeah, it's first set up by that block punt that set up the first and goal at the 3-yard line. They were able to punch it in. Jacob Cavazos on a 6-yard run after a 5-yard penalty, and the Panthers had a 7-0 lead later on. They had another opportunity there where they drove down after getting the ball at the 45-yard line, settled for a field goal there to take a 10-0 lead. But then the Tigers came back with 14 unanswered points, led by the young man, Mark Ledesma, the quarterback, who's done a heck of a job. 67 yards in the first half and has a 26-yard touchdown run and a 1-yard touchdown run. Then the Weslaco Panthers were able to put a drive together right before the half. That 11-play, 67-yard drive to put them ahead 17-14, and that's our score.
Where we're at now, and the Weslaco Panthers won the toss to begin the game. They deferred to the second half, so they'll have the football to begin the second half. I am Joe Aguilar, joined by Mike Gonzalez, and we're going to bring you all the second half action just like we did the first half here from Tiger Stadium. So the Tigers set to kick. That's going to be Luis Munoz on to kick. Canab and Trevino back deep for your Panthers.
Both players with the capability of taking it a long ways. Payne Canab, we saw last week, taking it all the way back. So let's see what happens.
Squib kick. Russ just bumbling on the floor about the 25-20. Finally picked up by Evan Margot. Evan Margot breaking a few tackles, running, and his helmet is loose. A Tiger loses his helmet. I almost thought that was the ball that was loose, but it ended up being a helmet. But Evan Margot doing a great job hanging on to that football. And now the Panthers will begin their first offensive series here in the second half at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, usually coaches tell you not to run backwards as Margot did there. He was just trying to make a play there, but we have a penalty here, Joe.
It's going to be on the Tigers. It's going to be on Ricky Gomez of the Tigers. Don't know what he did, but I saw his hands go up. And they're going to re-kick the ball, so we'll have another kickoff here for the Tigers. But, yeah, the flag went up. The referee, as we mentioned earlier, is Mike Buck. He was making the call, and Ricky was walking, and you just see him throw his hands up in the air, so that was the guilty party there.
Yeah, like, what did I do?
Exactly. Ricky Gomez, his wife works there with me, and so that's why I know him. He's a great kid. But, of course, penalties are always out on the field, so we'll re-kick this one, this time from the 35-yard line.
And let's see if the Panthers could take advantage of this opportunity here. They were going to start at more or less around the 20-yard line, the 21 maybe. And now they have an opportunity to get a kick a little bit shorter and perhaps get a better return here.
We'll see what the kicker decides to do, because that first time he just squib kicked it into the ground. And, of course, we've learned that those are by design. We've watched the Panthers do it so well in the first half. One of them did go out of bounds, but now the Tigers doing the same thing. It's something that we've been noticing across the valley. And as you mentioned earlier, Mike, it really puts the return team in the corner and allows the kickoff team to defend a little better. So here we go. Munoz with the kick. This time it is the same style kick, and it's going to be picked up by Olzak at the 35. He drops it back at the 30. Nowhere to run, and he's going to be dropped at about the 26-yard line. That's a loss of 9. You just mentioned right now the coaches don't like to see their boys run backwards.
Well, he just wanted to make a play, that young man, a very athletic. But if he would have just fallen on it, the Panthers would have had better field position at about the 40-yard line. But yeah, as you mentioned, they lose 9 yards there. So now they're back actually at the 26-yard line, and so that makes a difference. That really does make a difference. I'm sure that's something that the coaches will teach. But as you mentioned, the squid kicks are now something that the special teamers really work on. And as you can see there, it does work on the kicking side of the ball.
So the Panthers with the football, 1st and 10 from their 26-yard line. We're going to have Marco Leal in at quarterback. And again, at running back along with him is going to be Matthew De Santiago, a combination that we've seen a lot here tonight. They're going to send out 2 receivers wide to the right, one of them being Devin Dena, and the other being, I can't see his number. He did turn around for a little bit, but then I turned around back, so I can't see his number from here. But nonetheless, 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Snap is low. Handoff is to De Santiago. He's going to turn this into positive yardage out to the 30, a pickup of 4 yards. In motion was the tight end, Rolando Berrones. We've seen that happening a lot here tonight. Something that we see with that tight end, he'll come into motion, come behind the guard or the tackle, and upon the snap, be an extra blocker. Now we're going to have flags again because there was motion on the line, and that's going to be like number 7, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, we've seen a lot of motion by the Panthers here tonight. So another thing with a young team, with a brand new offensive system, with a brand new head coach, there is a little bit of confusion. And of course, that's what these preseason or non-district games are for, is to help them work out all those kinks. So the ball's going to be moved back 5 yards, and we're going to repeat 2nd down. It'll be 2nd down and 11 from the 25-yard line. And
it does make a difference going from 2nd to 6 to 2nd and 11. You get pinned back. It changes the play selection here. At that time, I think the running back moved a little bit too early there.
So in motion is going to be Dena. He's going to take the handoff. He's got some running room. He's at 25, 30. He's at the 40. He's got some blockers. He's inside Tiger territory, 40, 35. And he's finally hit and brought down at about the 30-yard line.
Yeah,
45 yards on that run for Devin Dena. Dena is started off as the receiver split wide to the left, went into motion, and the jet sweep worked to perfection there for the Panthers.
Yeah, at that time, Coach Salinas saw something on the right side, so Dena got that handoff and just found a big lane there and got big-time yardage.
Again, Berrones in motion, and this time they bring the guard pulling to the left, really making some running room for the running back, but not much room for him to go as the defensive end was able to shut him down. Jay Granados. De Santiago, the running back.
2nd and 10.
With no gain on that play.
And Jacob Cavazos is the quarterback right now.
De Santiago moves out to his left. Quarterback draw, and he's tripped up.
2-yard gain. Brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 8.
Right defensive end for the Tigers, getting into the backfield quickly and able to reach out and knock him down. I really couldn't see his number, but I want to say it's Jose Villarreal for the Tigers.
At that time, the Tigers sent 2 guys both on both sides going after Cavazos. Cavazos just took it up the middle, but the Tigers there make the stop. It looks like he got about 3 yards, no more than 3 yards. It's either 2 or 3 yards. Right in the middle of the field.
They're going to say 2, so it's going to be 3rd down and 8 from the 28. Cavazos is the quarterback. De Santiago in the backfield. He's going to motion out to his right. Pressure on the quarterback. Cavazos quickly gets away from it. Ball is in the air, but it is short and incomplete, and that'll bring up a 4th down. The Tigers sending a blitz on the left side, Juan Morales, but Cavazos very much able to get around him, had a receiver, but that ball was thrown just a little bit low. A lot of options there for Cavazos because he could have easily tucked that one and run as well.
Yeah, Matthew Santiago was the man he was looking for, but as you mentioned, the ball was a little underthrown. It could have given him a first down, but now we have an interesting situation here, a field goal. This is a 45-yard field goal.
Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up. It's long enough, but it's going to be wide to the right. This kid, 78, was kicking field goals
over 40 yards.
I was going to say 40-yard field goals, but with room to spare. So that looked like it would have been something that he would have made fairly easily, but a lot different from having no one in the stands to having over 10,000 people watching you.
Right, big time difference, and he did give it a good ride, but it was just a little too far to the left. So now Mercedes with his first possession here at their own 28-yard line.
2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Quarterback is Ledesma. He's going to hand the ball off to the running back, and I want to say that is Gracia in the backfield with him. And that is Gracia in the backfield. He's going to pick up 1 yard to the 29-yard line. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, the Panthers doing a great job there, stopping the run there right up the middle there.
Tony Esteban in the middle, making sure nothing gets by him. So 2nd and 9 for the Tigers. Gracia, the running back. Ledesma, the quarterback. Same formation, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Snap. Gracia out to the flat. Ledesma has plenty of room. Only 3 rushing. This time there's some pressure. He's going to be rushed out of the pocket, and he's going to be stopped for a loss. Great job there by the Panther defense, only rushing 3 and still able to put pressure on the quarterback and drop him for a loss.
That's right. Benito Juarez was there for the stop, but as you mentioned, 3 down linemen. That means they had 8 backs back there with superior coverage there, an outstanding job. So Ledesma had nowhere to throw. So great job there by the coverage team, which allowed Juarez to pursue Ledesma and get that sack.
You get that sack. That is correct. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 11. Under 8 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Tigers are going to split 3 to the right. Gracia in the backfield. Ledesma looking to the right. He's got a receiver. The ball's in the air, and it's over the hands of his twin brother, Matthew Ledesma. That ball was just a little bit behind him as well. Ledesma cutting out more towards the middle, and this one was right over his right shoulder. But great effort there by Ledesma. Passes incomplete, bring up a 4th down for the Tigers. So the Panthers doing a great job of holding the Tigers, not allowing them to do anything on their first possession.
And once again, Axel Camarena there with the coverage, doing a great job there. Didn't turn and look for the ball, but just was able to shield, not allowing Ledesma, the receiver, to get the ball there.
Punt is on the way. He's taken up by Trevino at the 40-yard line. He's got some blockers. He's across midfield at the 30, at the 25, and finally brought down at the 22-yard line by Matthew Ledesma. A great return there by Roy Trevino. A short punt. He grabs it, finds the wall, makes some things happen, and puts the Panthers in great field position yet once again.
And I got to give credit to one of the Weslaco Panther players there. I didn't get his number, but he was in position to do an illegal block, but he had the sense of mind to just make sure to just get out of the way and allow his player to make that run there. And there must have been some kind of
There was a
penalty.
holding on the Panthers.
So they are going to spot it at the Tiger 46.
It's a spot foul, so it's going to come out to the 46-yard line after the 10 yards are marched off. So a great return, but still the Panthers in great field position because they're going to start this ball in Tiger territory. And this is the 4th time that the Panthers begin their offensive series on the Tiger side of the field. So here come the Panthers. We're going to bring Marco Leal in at quarterback. He's going to come out with Kanab as his running back. 2 receivers split wide to the right, 1 to the left. Snap is away. Handoff to Kanab. Kanab looking for some running room off the right side. Has a little seam, and is going to pick up maybe 1 yard on that play to the 45-yard line, which will make it a 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, they're really involving Peyton Kanab here tonight, more on the running game. And, you know, he's done a pretty good job. He had that 16-yard carry late in the first half to set up their last touchdown. And, you know, they're really trying to utilize his athletic ability.
So here we go. Marco Leal rolling out to his right. Ball is in the air, and it is caught. A great catch there on the sideline by Devin Dena. That's going to be about a 10-yard pickup, and that's going to be enough for the Panthers to move the chains.
And I just mentioned Peyton Canab there. And right now, he did a great job on the block, allowing Marco Leal to find Dena down there in the sideline. So another great job by Peyton Canab there.
So here we go. 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the 36-yard line. This time, Leal, play action. Again, the ball is in the air. It is tipped. But the Panther receiver has the presence of mind to stay with it, and a great job there by Jay Granados. The defender for the Tigers almost picked that off. He came up on it. The ball went through his hands. Granados saw it go in the air, because a lot of times what happens is you end up playing defense. But the great job there. So this time the Panthers 1st and 10. Handoff is to Canab. Canab has nowhere to go off the right side and is stopped for no gain at the 15. But again, going back to that previous play, usually when the defender looks like it's going to be a interception, the receiver quickly turns around to play defense to tackle him. But Granados sees the ball up in the air, comes down with it, and a great grab to keep the ball in the possession of the Panthers.
And they got 21 yards out of that play. So just a fortune of luck there for Weslaco and in the red zone now.
So here we go. Dena with the reception. Nowhere to go. No gain on that play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 10. So the Panthers marching down the field, down to the 15-yard line. 3rd down and 10 from the 15. 5:47 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
So let's see here what Coach Salinas decides to call here. They can still get a 1st down if they get the ball at about the 6-yard line. They could still get a 1st down. They don't necessarily have to score a touchdown here.
Jaden Cavazos in the slot on the left. Canab in the backfield. Leal looking for a receiver. Dena is the intended target, a little too high for him. That ball is incomplete. That'll bring up a 4th down and 10 from the 15. That'll make it about a 33-yard field goal. They went for a 45 earlier. So we'll see what Salinas wants to do here. They do lead by 3 here in the 3rd quarter, 5:21 to go. We have a timeout called on the field by the Panthers. We're going to take one as well. We got 5:21 to go here in the 3rd. 4th and 10 for the Panthers. They lead 17-14. We'll be right back with more Panther football right here on K-West.
Before Harlan Block raised the flag over Iwo Jima, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. There he played for the Panthers, won a championship, and learned some of the leadership skills he and 7 other students used while serving in the Marines. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prominent graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For war hero Harlan Block, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
33-yarder.
Okay, here we go. Back to live action here at Tiger Stadium. A 38-yard field goal attempt by the Panthers, and this one is good. So with 5:15 to go here in the 3rd, the Panthers extend their lead to 20-14. What a great offensive series there by the Panthers.
Yeah, did a great job, stuck with it, had a few big plays here. But that big one was that 21-yard reception to Jay Granado. Looked like a tip pass. Mercedes, could have intercepted it. They didn't. But yeah, this time the passing game making a contribution here. We got to mention that pass to Devin Dana, that 9-yard pass, which gave the squad a 1st down. And before that 21-yard pass happened, and then you had just a few runs here and there. The Tigers, though, were able to stop the Panthers from scoring a touchdown, keeping it a 1-possession game.
Well, Mike, you mentioned the passing game for the Panthers being very efficient there on that drive. The touchdown drive right before the half was all on the ground. So the Panthers really working on both styles of play. Not only are they going to be able to hurt you with the run, but they're also going to be able to hurt you with the pass. So they're doing really well here tonight for a very young ball club trying to learn a brand new offensive system, I think they're doing very well tonight. So they lead 20-14 here with 5:15 to go in the third, and they are now set to kick off the ball to the Tigers. The Tigers have 2 men deep to return this one. The kick is away, and it's a good one. Back deep, it's going to be dropped at about the 4-yard line. That's Matthew Ledesma. He's going to pick it up. I'm sorry, that's Matthew Gracia. He's going to pick it up at the 4-yard line and bring it out to the 16-yard line. The Panthers doing a great job on the coverage. That's something they've been doing really well here tonight. That kickoff coverage has worked for them tonight because they have not given Mercedes much running room on the kickoff.
And once again, the young kicker, kicking the ball to the corner, which makes it a little bit more difficult. And then he fumbled it, so those few seconds you do lose, and that allows the coverage team to get down there. They didn't make the 20-yard line, so once again, the Tigers are pinned back behind the red zone.
So here we go. Mark Ledesma, the quarterback. Gracia, the running back. Ledesma's going to keep it. He's got some running room. He's at 25. He cuts out to the 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and he's finally pushed out of bounds. And that is Evan Margot, who puts a fingernail on Ledesma and forces him out of bounds, because if Margot doesn't push him, Ledesma is off to the races.
Yeah, that's right. He saw a lane right up the middle, took it, and then went to the right side and did a great job. A 35-yard run, according to my stats, puts him at exactly 100 yards for the night with 2 touchdowns.
So they are going to mark the ball inside Panther territory at the 49-yard line, where it's going to be first down and 10 for the Tigers. We do have a timeout on the field. But, Mike, you know, one of the things that we've been talking about here tonight is the way the Panthers have been able to move the football. Not only have they been able to move the football through the air, they've been able to move the football on the ground. So very balanced attack is something that we have seen here from the Panthers. Now, one of the things that I have noticed is that Cavazos is more prone to run.
Yeah, and tonight that's what he's doing. It's kind of been their bread and butter tonight for him to just get it, run up the middle, read the defense, and yeah, we've had 5 different runners for the Weslaco Panthers carry the ball tonight.
So here we go. Handoff to Gracia. Gracia looking for the running on the left. He's got a little bit of room. He's going to bring it out to about the 45-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 45, so that's going to give them a 4-yard carry, bring up a second down and 6. The one name that we have not mentioned here tonight is Fabian Ledesma. That is one of their running backs as well.
Yeah, his threat, we've heard Sonny Vela, who's had a couple of carries, but yeah, Fabian Ledesma has been very quiet tonight for whatever reason. But yeah, Matthew Gracia has gotten the bulk of the carries as well as Mark Ledesma.
Well, the handoff is to Gracia, and Gracia's met in the backfield, and he's going to go nowhere. He's actually going to lose a yard. You know, Mike, we were talking about this before the game here while we were on the field. You know, one of the things that the Tigers have had a little bit of was the injury bug. So maybe he's a little hurt. You know, they did play Cal Allen, which is a very tough opponent, as is Nicky Rowe. And, of course, next week they've got to bye before they start district. And of course, you don't want to get anybody more hurt than they already are.
Right.
So if he is injured, we hope that he heals up and gets ready for district play.
Absolutely.
So here we go. 3rd down and 7 for the Tigers. Ledesma going to keep the ball. He's got some running room on his right. Now he's going to cut up the middle. He's across the 40. He's inside the 35. He drops the football, and it looks like the Panthers have recovered. A great job there by Tony Estevane. The big defense, he looks like the nose guard, I'm sorry. And he was chasing Ledesma down the field, grabbed his jersey, wrapped him with the other arm, knocked it loose, and the Panthers recovered the football.
And Ledesma for sure had a first down and even more. And a great job, Tony Esteban, hustling there and not only making the tackle, but forcing that turnover. What a big-time play by that senior there, giving the Panthers the ball back with 3:31 left in the 3rd quarter.
And, of course, they lead by 6. They haven't been able to put the ball in the end zone here in the 2nd half, but we've got Cavazos in at quarterback. De Santiago in there with them. This time he's going to keep the ball, and he's brought down quickly by Valentin Lopez. Valentin Lopez able to get into the end zone and keep Cavazos to no gain, something we have not heard of a lot here tonight.
Well, yeah, I tell you what, Joe, this is how athletic he is. It looked like he was going to be stopped back there, but he still had the presence of mind to just kind of leap forward and at least get the ball back to the line of scrimmage.
This time Cavazos is going to roll to his right, tucks the ball. No, he's not. He's going to throw the ball. He's got a receiver wide open. That's Dena. Nobody's going to catch him. He's going to go all the way to the end zone for a Panther touchdown. A 68-yard touchdown pass for the Panthers, but we do have some laundry on the field. We have a flag back here at the 35-yard line.
I wonder if he crossed the line of scrimmage here. Let's see what
he
they
may
call.
have crossed because it looked like he tucked it and then he came back a little bit. But from our angle, I couldn't tell if he had come across the line of scrimmage because I did say that he was going to run with it, but then all of a sudden it looked like he was going to throw it.
Yeah, I know. I see Coach Salinas there talking to the official. Perhaps he's just asking him, like, are you sure that's a penalty? Are you sure that's what you saw there? Because it was very, very close. And, I mean, it looked like Jacob was going to keep it and run with it. At the very last second, he flipped the ball over, and there was nobody close to Dana there.
Well, the reason he got rid of the ball is because he saw Devin down the field wide open.
Right.
There was no one around him. And if you were watching on K-West, you're going to see no black jerseys on the television screen.
Yeah. It's only a 5-yard penalty, so perhaps it was just an illegal man downfield is what they might have called here.
I didn't hear Buck make any kind of call, and I was looking for him. And he is mic'd tonight, so nonetheless, it is a 5-yard penalty. So we'll repeat second down. It'll be second down and 15. So that big play there is nullified.
So now the Tigers got a big-time break there with the Panthers getting a penalty there. So we have a timeout here now.
Yeah, we have a timeout called on the field. And you are absolutely correct, Mike. Big-time penalty because that would have opened this game wide. Right now, the Panthers lead by 6. They've got a little bit of momentum on their side. That touchdown would have really put momentum on the side of the Panthers.
It would have made it a 2-possession game once again, which what they had in the first quarter. The Tigers had to fight hard to come back and take the lead. But now that we're in the middle of the third quarter, that puts more pressure on them to come back and, get back into this game.
Okay, well, we're coming back from the timeout. Both teams going back onto the field. Second down and 15 from the 27-yard line. We've got 2:51 to go here in the third. The Panthers lead this one 20-14. Cavazos, the quarterback, drops back. It's going to be a screen to Kanab. And a great job there by the Tiger defense to come up come through the blocks and keep Kanab because he had 3 men in front of him. A great job there by Ricky Gomez for the Tigers.
Yeah, the screen was set up beautifully, but the Tigers just a great job of, that defender there making a play and making that tackle. They got no gain out of it, so now it's 3rd and 15.
3rd and 15, clock moves to 6:17 and winding in the third quarter. Cavazos drops back, looking to his left. Now he rolls. He's in the grasp of the Tiger defense, and he goes down. The first sack of the night for the Tigers.
So you take away that touchdown there, and now the Panthers go even further back to now they're going to have to punt. And so the Tigers, with an opportunity here, may get a very good field position.
Loss of 11 on the play. That'll bring up a 4th down and 25, 26 from the 16-yard line. Panthers set to punt. Matthew Ledesma back to return. Cavazos takes the punt, takes the snap. The punt is away. It's a short one. It's on the ground. The Tigers pick it up at the 27-yard line. Again, we mentioned that earlier. That is a very dangerous punt. I don't know if it hit a Tiger or a Panther, but nonetheless, it was on the ground, and there was Panthers around it, there were Tigers around it, but the Tigers did come up with the football, and they have the ball in Panther territory. Not much of a change there on possession.
Well, I see the officials there meeting right now, discussing. They're probably just asking, like, what did you see? What did you see? What did you see? Because, yeah, you're right. It was very difficult to see which player it hit, but nevertheless, both teams were going for the football, and, yeah, the Tigers with a perhaps a little break there on that punt exchange, and with a great opportunity here to drive and to score.
Well, they're going to say that the ball was touched by the Panthers at the 17-yard line. So the ball is going to be in possession of the Tigers, first and 10 from the 17-yard line of the Panthers, and that gets the Tiger crowd roaring. They are on their feet. So here we go. Two receivers right, two left. Gracia in at running back. The handoff is to Gracia. He is hit hard by Jathan Gonzalez. Jathan Gonzalez gets into the backfield, hits Gracia, knocks him down for a 2-yard gain.
Once again, the Panther defense right there to make the stop there, and only 2 yards on that play. So we have a 2nd and 8 with about a minute now left here in the third quarter.
So here we go. 4 down linemen for the Panthers. Snap is over the head of Ledesma. Ledesma trying to track it down. It's on the ground, and the referee is going to say that he recovered the fumble. And that's a big loss there. 13-yard, 14-yard loss on that play, all the way back to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, we're having a crazy sequence of events here with the ball going all over the place. Yeah, the Panthers were going backwards. Now that we see the Tigers going backwards here, I mean, the opportunities are there for both teams. They just got to, which team is going to take advantage of it.
So here we go, 3rd down and 25 for the Panthers. For the Tigers, excuse me. Tigers with the football. Ledesma looking, screen is set up. Pass is caught by Gracia, but the Panthers doing a great job of defense. And guess who's out there leading the charge, Mike? Tony Estevane. Tony Estevane, the middle nose guard for the Panthers, sniffed out that screen and made a big play there. Yeah. We've got a timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. You're enjoying Weslaco Panther football. They lead this game 20-14 right here on K-West.
Did you see who made the reception?
Yeah, it was Gracia.
Gracia,
yeah, 20. Hopefully Roy's not hurt too bad, because that's one of their key return men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think he's the one that made the tackle too.
Yeah, he made the tackle, and Esteban, it was coming from behind.
Yeah, he's jogging, so
yeah,
that's
he's
good.
Okay.
Maybe he just got a little cramp or something.
Yeah, well, maybe he just got hit hard. That was probably it. Got the wind knocked out of him.
Got the wind knocked out.
Or something, who knows. Welcome back to live action here at Tiger Stadium. K-West bringing you Weslaco Panther football. I am Joe Aguilar, joined by Mike Gonzalez, bringing you all the action here from Tiger Stadium. And that buzzer that you hear there indicates that we have played 3 here at Tiger Stadium. And at the end of 3 quarters of play, it is your Weslaco Panthers 20, the Mercedes Tigers 14.
Before Rene Hinojosa became a business executive, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. He participated in UIL academics, designed the original Wildcats logo, was an all-state academic middle linebacker. He then played for the Longhorns, graduating with a business degree from UT. Now he's the Director of Strategic Development at Doctors Hospital at Renaissance. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Rene Hinojosa, WISD was the right choice.
But they are really playing very, very hard. They're giving it their all, and this is what high school football is all about. This is a great game.
Most definitely. So the Tigers will begin 4th period with a 4th down and 21. Ledesma pump fakes to his left, got some pressure, evades the pressure. He's on the run, and guess who is chasing him down?
Number 99.
That is right. That young man has been all over the field.
Yeah, what a big-time stop there. And Ledesma was looking for somebody down the field. And the Panther defense playing very smart there with excellent coverage there. They allowed Ledesma to pick his lane or whatever, because he needed 20-some yards to get a 1st down. So,
and we'll give you 25.
Sure.
But we're not going to give you all 26.
Exactly. Exactly. They knew that, so once he crossed that line of scrimmage, I was like, okay, go make the tackle, and yeah, led by number 99. But something I'm seeing by the Weslaco defense, they're very fast.
They are. Andrew Olguin in there on the stop as well, so that stoppage will give the Panthers the ball 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. Cavazos, the quarterback, he's going to hand it off to Kanab. Kanab is going to get across the line of scrimmage for maybe 1 yard. We'll see where they mark it. Yeah, they're going to give him 1 yard to the 23-yard line. So that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 9. Dana coming back onto the field for the Panthers.
Yeah, let's see if the Panthers, their offense can put themselves a big drive here and put some pressure on the Tiger defense and make this a 2-possession game.
So quarterback Cavazos fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it run left. He's got some blockers in front of him. He takes off to his left side, but he's dropped as soon as he tries to cut to the left, but not after picking up great yardage all the way down to the 44-yard line.
And all he did was follow 2 linemen there with a big-time lane and got a big-time 1st down for the Panthers.
That he did. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Cavazos will stay in at quarterback. Kanab in the backfield with them. They're going to send their tight end in motion. They're going to try to run a bubble screen, but that ball is incomplete. Jaden Cavazos was the intended receiver, so that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that was nearly picked off there by the Tigers there. They were there, they read the play, did a good job there, and now we got 2nd and 10 here. So I wonder what Salinas is going to do here with this formation.
Well, 3 receivers to the left, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. What he's going to do is going to let Jacob Cavazos run with the football because that's what he does very well. And he's going to bring it out to the 46-yard line, and that's going to be a gain of 7.
Yeah, that is pretty smart to do. You know, when you're in trouble or you need something to happen, just let Jacob make a play.
And this kid is only a sophomore.
Right. He's only a sophomore, which is very scary when you consider, you know, he has no varsity experience, and he had an injury last year. So he had limited freshman football, and yeah, just making it look easy.
Dena in motion, jet sweep to Dena, this time to the left. He's got some running room, across the 50 to the 40. He makes a move, and he's brought down at the 37-yard line. He loses the football, but they're going to say that he was already on the ground. So they're going to mark it at the 37-yard line. And once again, the chains are going to be moving for the Panthers.
And once again, it's the running game doing it for them. They're kind of going away from the passing a little bit. They're saying, well, what are we doing good tonight? Well, we're running the football. You know, they're running both sides. They're running up the middle. They're letting Dana operate. They're letting Cavazos operate, Kanab operate.
Handoff is made to Kanab. Kanab with some very tough running up the middle is going to pick up 2 yards on that run. Another sophomore on this ball club.
Looks like a 2-yard carry there, which will bring us 2nd and 8 at the 35.
2nd down and 8, 35-yard line is where the ball's going to be spotted. 3 receivers split to the right, 1 to the left. Kanab in the backfield. Cavazos going to keep it, looking for some room up the middle. He's going to pick up maybe 3 yards to the 32-yard line, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 5.
Big time 3rd down here for both teams. The Tigers defense needing to make a stop here while the Panthers are driving, trying to extend this lead here, and they're keeping Cavazos in the game. You know, we've seen Marco Leal in the game, we've seen Cavazos in the game, but in this drive alone, it's been all Cavazos.
And here we go, 3rd down. He's going to send Cavazos in motion. Snap Cavazos. He's going to set up the screen to Kanab over to the left, and a great job again by the Tiger defense, Raul Artiaga. The Tiger defense has done a real good job with those screens.
Does open field tackles big time. I mean, that was a big time play right there. I mean, Kanab looked like he had a lot of room to operate, and there was only one defender there, and he was the one that made the tackle.
And that's the 2nd time we see Artiaga come up and make a big stop on the screen, and that's going to bring up a 4th down and 6 situation for the Panthers. The play clock is running down to 13. I think they're going to let it run down a little bit more before Coach Salinas does call a timeout. So we've got a timeout on the field with 8:14 to go in the ball game. It is the Panthers 20, the Tigers 14. We're going to take a short timeout as well. You're enjoying Weslaco Panther football right here on K-West.
She's an MBA graduate who became the first Latina to reach the executive level at AT&T. She spent nearly a decade as CEO of the Hispanic Scholarship Fund, raising $280 million, along with expectations in the Latino community. Then in Washington, she served as our nation's top official on higher education. Today, she remains a key advisor for some of the world's leading corporate and educational organizations. Sarah Martinez Tucker. She's a Longhorn legend.
Welcome back to Tiger Stadium. A timeout taken by the Weslaco Panthers with 8:14 to go here in the ball game as they are faced with a 4th down and 6 situation from the 33-yard line of the Tigers. They lead this ball game by a score of 20-14. I am Joe Aguilar, joined tonight by Mike Gonzalez. Looks like the Panthers are set to punt. The Tigers are going to send 2 return men back to about the 15-yard line, one being Matthew Ledesma, and the other is now being made to come back forward. Cavazos takes a snap, runs to his right, and the punt is away, and it's going out of bounds, and that's not a very good kick. The ball was spotted 4th and 6 from the 33-yard line, and we'll see where they mark it out of bounds. They're going to say it went out of bounds at the 23, so a 10-yard punt for the Panthers. So the Tigers will take over here in the 4th quarter, 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line. Now the Tigers haven't had a very good outing here in the second half.
Oh, they've been shut out here. They've had opportunities, but they haven't been able to move the ball all that much, really. The Panther defense doing a pretty good job.
Handoff is made to, looks like Sonny Vela. Sonny Vela looking for some running room. And he's finally knocked out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. And that is Sonny Vela, the running back. Pickup of maybe 9. We'll see where they spot it. They're going to say 10 yards on that run. They're going to move the chains. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers from the 33-yard line. 10-yard pickup there by Sonny Vela. Sonny Vela and Gracia in at running backs. Now Vela in at slot. So Ledesma, the quarterback. Handoff is made to Gracia. He's going to run behind Vela off the right side, and he's going to be across the 35 to maybe the 39-yard line. Now, one of the things that I saw there, Mike, were the Panthers trying to strip the ball. Now, what happens there is if you're trying to strip the ball, you're not bringing them down, and I think that's what gave Gracia an extra 2 or 3 yards on that play.
Yeah, it kind of goes both ways because the coaches do teach you to strip the ball, and it's actually worked several times tonight, but you're right. When you don't do that, that means the momentum is still going forward, and the Tigers did get an extra yard or 2. And looked like the Panthers were offsides there. I don't see a flag.
Gracia with a great move, cuts around to his left. He's across midfield to the 40-yard line. Evan Margot knocking him out of bounds. Mike, you said it looked like it was offsides, and I think the Panthers thought they were offsides because they almost stood still there. But you know what? Gracia is one of those players who's a senior who says, I didn't hear a whistle, so I'm going to continue to run. And a great run that is all the way to the 38-yard line, and now the Tigers are moving the ball down the field. We talked about them being quiet here in the second half. Now it looks like they're moving the football. So here we go. 2 receivers split wide to the right, 1 to the left. Vela in the slot to the left. Ledesma's going to keep it, breaks a tackle. He loses the football, but it goes out of bounds. A big hit there from Roy Trevino and Marco Noriega.
Yeah, we see their Mercedes again. They're very susceptible to losing the football there, so they're really going after it. But fortunately for the Tigers, the ball did go out of bounds, and they keep the ball here. No gain on the play, I don't think.
They're going to give them 1 yard.
1 yard, okay.
So it's going to be 2nd and 9 from the 37-yard line. Same formation for the Tigers. Handoff to Gracia. Gracia looking for some room on his right. He bounces outside, and Marco Noriega with a big tackle. Gracia struggling to get outside because he was trying to bounce it outside, and Noriega saw him, had his eyes on him, and brings him down for a big loss, and that's going to be a loss of 3 yards. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 12 for the Tigers from the 40-yard line.
And I'm willing to bet this is 4 down territory. I'm pretty sure if they are able to move the ball and not get enough for the 1st down, I have a feeling Coach Adame will go for it here.
Well, we've got 6:32 to go in the ball game, and Coach Adame is going to call a timeout, so we'll take one as well. Again, 6:32 remaining in the ball game. It is your Panthers 20, the Tigers 14. You're enjoying high school football, Panther high school football, that is, right here on K-West.
We meet at a college noted for knowledge, in a city noted for progress, in a state noted for strength. And we stand in need of all three. For we meet in an hour of change and challenge, in an age of both knowledge and ignorance. The greater our knowledge increases, the greater our ignorance unfolds.
Welcome back to Tigers Stadium. Timeout taken by the Tigers as they are faced with a 3rd and 12 from the 40-yard line. I am Joe Aguilar, joined by Mike Gonzalez, bringing you all the action from this great ball game between the Panthers and the Tigers. The Tigers, as we mentioned earlier, kind of quiet, but they're beginning to move the ball here in the 4th quarter. So Ledesma, the quarterback, drops back, looking. He's got the ball. He throws it. It's in the air, and it is.
Looks like it's caught.
It's caught. Ryan Reyes with yet another grab.
I see a flag down, though, at about the 17-yard line.
From where we're at, that was way on the other side of the field, so it's hard to tell whether or not he had caught it, but he did. But again, like you just mentioned, Mike, we do have a flag on the play, so we'll see what that flag is.
It's against Weslaco, so they're going to decline it, and Mercedes is going to have a 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. What a big-time play.
Big-time play. We've seen a couple of those here tonight. So here we go. 1st and 10 for the Tigers from the 11. It is Ledesma, the quarterback, with Gracia in the backfield. Ledesma keeps the ball. He is tiptoeing through the line. He gets inside the 10 to the 9. Pickup of 2, and that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 8 from the 9.
Yeah, did you see that nice move he made there? Avoiding the defender there, was able to get a few yards, but it looked like he was going to be stopped back there, actually.
Yeah, that Panther line, as we've been mentioning tonight, has done a great job, especially Esteban right there in the middle. If he's not clogging it in the middle, he's chasing people down the line. So he's had a one heck of a game that young man has tonight. So here we go, 2nd down and 9, under 6 minutes to go. Snap directly to the quarterback, and he doesn't hesitate to run up the right side, and he runs into some Panthers, and they wrap him up and knock him back. He is only going to be allotted 1 yard on that carry, so that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 8.
Something worth to mention here, the Tigers could still get a 1st down. They would need to get the ball inside the 2-yard line. So that's probably what they're thinking right now is, hey, that's all right. If we don't score, at least we can get the ball inside the 2-yard line. But the Panther defense, here's a big-time opportunity for them to make a play once again.
3rd down for the Tigers. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ledesma looking to the right, has no one. Now he looks to the middle of the field. The ball is low, and it is incomplete. Leroy Garcia, the intended target, but that ball was a little low. So that's going to bring up a 4th down situation for the Tigers.
Ledesma had plenty of time to throw the ball there. Found somebody up the middle, but as you mentioned, the ball was underthrown a little bit there. But the Panther defense, I thought, did a pretty good job there on the coverage.
They did a great job on the coverage. They did a great job containing Ledesma in the pocket, because one of the things that you do not want to do is allow Ledesma any kind of running room, because we've seen him run tonight, and we've seen him make his way into the end zone already twice tonight.
Yeah, that's a very excellent point there. Who knows if he would have taken off running versus him throwing, what would have happened, but he elected to throw there. And fortunately for the Panthers, the ball was underthrown. It was incomplete. And now Roger Adame. Adame is
in Sharyland.
Is in Sharyland. That's uncle.
That's
correct.
That is cousin.
That's cousin. Yes,
yeah,
I know.
they're cousins.
They're cousins. There's a family tie there. I knew that for sure. But yeah, Coach Roger Adame here with a big-time decision here, electing, looks like, to go for it.
Looks like they are going to go for it. They got 3 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Ledesma, the quarterback, looking to his left. He's got pressure. He's going to run out to his left. He's going to throw the ball to the end zone, and that ball is going to be incomplete. A stoppage by the Panthers here, and it's got the Panther crowd on their feet.
What a terrific job there by the Panther defense. And we saw it last week, too, against San Antonio Marshall, making some big-time stops there. I know early in the game they had a big-time stop. And then if you remember, late in the game, they were 1 down away from stopping them at the 1-yard line. Here they are at the 11-yard line. Tigers 1st and 10 with all the momentum, moving the football, coming off a big-time play. But no, instead the Tigers don't score, and the Panther defense step up. And give credit to the D-line there for pressuring Ledesma there.
Yeah, they have given him a lot of hassles here tonight. So the Panthers will take over at the 8-yard line. Cavazos in as a quarter, but the ball is loose, and it looks like the Tigers have the football.
Wow, wow, wow. What a change of momentum there. Just back and forth throughout the night. Just when you thought the Panthers were going to get ready to take over this game, now the Tigers get a break.
You know, Mike, this ball, you said back and forth. This game has gone back and forth. The Panthers jumped out to an early 10-0 lead. The Tigers came back, took the lead 14-10, and then it was 17-14, now 20-14. The Tigers had been quiet all the second half. Then they're moving the ball down, and they are shut down by the Panther defense, kept out of the end zone. And when it looks like momentum is going back to the Panther side of the field, the Tigers cause a big turnover, now have the ball at the 13-yard line. So it's 1st and 10 with 4:46 to go here in this ball game. Same offensive formation for the Tigers. This time the ball is handed off to Sonny Vela. Sonny Vela is hit at the line of scrimmage and brought down for no gain. Roy Trevino coming off that safety position, making a big stop there for the Panthers. The Panthers really testing the Tigers and saying, look, we want you guys to run the ball. Because if you notice, Roy Trevino was coming up from his safety position because they're expecting either Ledesma to hand off the ball or Ledesma to keep the ball.
So they're basically daring the Tigers to throw it is what's happening here. They're saying, okay, if you're going to beat us, you're going to beat us by throwing the football because you've heard us more running the football. That means we're going to send extra guys there. We're going to stop the run. And now, Ledesma, we want you to throw the ball.
Yeah, because we know you can run the ball because you've already done that to us twice, but we're not going to let you do it a third time.
Right.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you.
Right. And we have an injury down there. I don't know. It's very difficult to see the number, but
that's Sonny Vela. He's coming up off of his own on his own strength, his own power.
Well, that's good.
That's always good to see. I don't know what happened because he was way down here at the 20-yard line. So I don't know if it was cramps or who knows what it is.
Maybe the wind knocked out of him because he was jogging back, but then he all of a sudden fell down. So
well, remember, he was hit hard by Roy Trevino on that last play because Roy Trevino came up from his safety position and hit him hard. So 2nd down and 10 from the 13 for the Tigers. Handoff to Ledesma. This is Fabian Ledesma running up the middle, and it's a touchdown. We had not mentioned his name. We mentioned that a little while ago, and he comes in off the bench. The first time he touches the ball, he's in the end zone for a 13-yard touchdown.
And all he did was get the handoff, take it up the middle, broke one tackle, and there was nobody in front of him.
And that's a very strong young man. He's been on this varsity squad 3 years straight.
So you talk experience.
As well.
I mean, and you know, him coming off the bench and just saying, okay, you know, I'll get the ball and I'll make a play, and that's what he did.
Luis Munoz on to attempt the point after Ledesma ties this game at 20. 4:12 to go here in the ball game. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up and is through the upright. So with 4:12 to go here in the ball game, it is now the Mercedes Tigers 21 and your Weslaco Panthers 20. We'll be right back with fourth quarter action from Tiger Stadium.
Before Harlan Block raised the flag over Iwo Jima, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. There he played for the Panthers, won a championship, and learned some of the leadership skills he and 7 other students used while serving in the Marines. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prominent graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For war hero Harlan Block, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
Welcome back to Tiger Stadium, where the score is now the Mercedes Tigers 21 and your Weslaco Panthers 20. We got 4:12 to go here in the ball game. I am Joe Aguilar, joined by Mike Gonzalez. The Tigers, after causing a turnover when it looked like the Panthers were going to be able just to put the nails in the coffin. And Fabian Ledesma with a 13-yard touchdown run, his only carry of the night to give the Tigers a lead. Now a squib kick in the direction of the return man, Richard Olzak, and he is making some things happen. He's got the ball at midfield. Now, one of the things we mentioned earlier, Mike, is we don't want to see him run backwards, but he ran a little bit backwards, but got a lot of yardage forward.
I kind of felt like that was a design play. I don't know if it is or not, but that was interesting. But I kind of felt like when he got the ball, he knew that hole was going to be there, and he took it and was able to go from a negative play to a positive play, and actually got, about 13, 14 positive yards after getting that at around the 40.
Yes, he did. So the Panthers back in great field position, starting once again on the Tigers side of the football field. It's something we've talked about all night.
And we were joking during the break that don't be surprised if we see like 3 touchdowns in these last 4 minutes. This is very exciting.
It has been a very exciting game, and it's so glad that I got a chance to call this game with you here tonight, Mike. So here we go, 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Denna in motion, jet sweep to the left. Now he's looking for some blockers. He's got some, breaks a tackle, breaks 2 tackles, he's across the 40, inside to the 38-yard line. Denna, very patient, allowing that to develop, and he makes about 13 yards on that play.
And all he did was follow Payne Kanab there on the block. Meanwhile, Richard Olsek there also with a terrific block there, and Dana also eluded a tackle there, enabling him to get about 12 yards, 11 yards on the play.
Yeah, he breaks 2 tackles on that run there, so very tough running there from Denna. So the Panthers are going to send 3 receivers wide to the right, 1 to the left, and it's Cavazos in at quarterback. He's going to take it. He's going to keep it. Looking for some running room, and he's met behind the line of scrimmage by all 4 defensive linemen of the Tigers.
Yeah, I was going to say the Tigers there, you can kind of tell that they've made their adjustment on Cavazos. Now what they're basically saying is, okay, you are not going to beat us. Somebody else is going to have to beat us here. And, this is the 3rd or 4th time in a row that they've been able to stop Cavazos.
Well, I don't know if you saw this, Mike, but that play was delayed a little bit because there was a collision by Kanab and Cavazos, and that's what I think allowed the Tiger defense to get to Cavazos. Cavazos looking for a man. He's got some pressure, but a great job yet once again by this young man to evade the pressure and turn what looked to be a sack into some positive yards. He's going to gain 2 on that play, and it's going to be 3rd down and 8.
And that's something that we've seen time and time again, how Cavazos has been able to avoid the sack and turn something negative into a positive. And granted, it was only about a 2-3 yard run, but it's a difference between 3rd and 8 versus 3rd and about 12.
All right, so we got 2:42 to go in the ball game. 3rd down and 8. Cavazos rolling out to his right. He's looking for a receiver. Pumps. Ball is in the air. And we'll see if they say he caught it. They're going to say it is incomplete. It was a great catch there by Jaden Cavazos on the sideline, but he just was not able to stay in bounds to make that a reception.
And once again, Cavazos there running, and the Tigers were going after him there, and Cavazos was able to get rid of it. But I don't know if Jaden Cavazos ever had possession or if he just didn't stay in bounds. But regardless, it's incomplete, and we have a big-time 4th and 8 here.
Well, the clock has stopped with 2:33 to go here in the ball game. The Panthers are going to send 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. It's going to be Cavazos Jacob at quarterback. Cavazos in motion, roll out to the right. Ball is in the air, and it's caught by Cavazos, and I think he's got enough for the 1st down. This sophomore kid knew exactly where he needed to be, and he got 1 more.
Not only that, but, did you see his concentration, his footwork there, the way he was able to move in the pocket and delivered a perfect strike to his partner in crime, Jaden Cavazos. No relation, but what a throw and what a catch, being able to stay in bounds and maintain that concentration and get that 1st down.
Yeah, I was referring to Jaden, how he knew where that stick was, and he got that +1. So here we go, Panthers, 1st and 10. Handoff is made to Kanab. Kanab inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line. Pickup of 3. That's going to bring up, they're going to say at the 24, so pickup of 2. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 8. Clock continues to move. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go.
A name I haven't heard in a while is Matthew De Santiago. I don't know if he got injured or he's okay, but we see Payne Kanab in the backfield.
Kanab in the backfield. Jacob rolling out to his right, evades some pressure. Ball is in the air, and it is incomplete. Pass was intended for Isaiah Jackson. I'm sorry, not Isaiah Jackson. That's going to be Isaac Villarreal. Isaac Villarreal, the intended receiver. That is an incomplete pass. That's going to stop the clock with 1:55 to go here in the ball game. 3rd down and 8 for the Panthers. Second time we've seen this 3rd and long situation for the Panthers.
Right, not only that, Cavazos was able to avoid another sack there. Somebody there missed a block, so that allowed that Tiger defender to go after Cavazos, and Cavazos was just trying to make a big play there. There was 2 receivers in the area, but the pass was incomplete.
Bad snap. Cavazos picks it up, has the presence of mind to stay in the pocket. Now he's trying to find some room on his left, but he is brought down. That again is Raul Artiaga with a big tackle over there on the right side of the field. Along with him out there is Eric Hinojosa.
It looks like we have a timeout called here by Mercedes, which actually surprises me a little because that stops the clock. But Cavazos there lost 2 yards.
Well, Adame has a 4th down situation that he was looking at. He did have a timeout. So he had 2 to be honest with you. So he's going to use one of them to make sure that he has the right defensive personnel in position, because this is a big play. This is do or die for the Tigers.
Well, it's the game. The game is on the line now. If the Panthers can't get a 1st down, and you got 1:43 left, and I don't think the Panthers have any more timeouts.
The Panthers are all out of timeouts.
So that's your game.
But this would be a 45-yard field goal attempt. Now, we saw them try a 45-yard field goal attempt earlier today, but it looks like they're going to send back their personnel, and it looks like Marco Leal back in at quarterback. Kanab is in at running back. 4th down, 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Panthers with the football, 4th and 11. Leal with the ball. Ball is in the air, and it's going to be intercepted by Artiaga. Artiaga has the ball, and he's looking for somewhere to run, and he falls down at the 6-yard line. We've got 1:35 to go in the ball game. The Tigers have the ball. The Panthers have no timeout. So I think we're going to see the victory formation here, Mike.
Well, yeah, unless something crazy happens, which we have seen before. But the Tigers do take over at the 5-yard line, so I don't think they need to get a 1st down here.
They really only have to run 2 plays.
Right. But in that play, Devin Dana was wide open up the middle. But the reason why Marco Leal wasn't able to deliver that pass because he got some pressure as well, so he had to get rid of the football. And so you got to give credit to the Tiger defense there.
Yeah, Leal stayed in the pocket because that play was developed to be quick. And that's exactly what he was waiting to happen. Maybe a little confusion on the side of the receivers, but nonetheless, it is a turnover, and the Tigers have the football. Tigers take a knee. 35-second on the play clock. They're going to be able to bring this one down all the way to about 35 seconds. Yeah. I'm sorry, about 50 seconds.
Yeah, we knew this was going to be a great game. It came down to the wire, came down to the 4th quarter. And we thought maybe whoever had the ball last would be the team that perhaps come out on top here, but instead it was a defense that made the plays here, and Mercedes was the one that made the big play here. And with under a minute now, Weslaco cannot stop the clock.
No, they cannot. So again, the Tigers take a knee, 50 seconds, 10-second differential on the play clock and the game clock, so they can let this one run down to about 12 seconds before having to take another snap.
And regardless for Weslaco, you can still take some positives out of it. Once again, Jacob Cavazos with another spectacular game. The passing game was slowed down a little bit versus last week, but yet they were still able to make some big plays. Other guys were able to contribute. Devin Dana made some big plays. Matthew Santiago was solid, but we didn't see him, really
in the latter part of the 4th quarter.
Right, 4th quarter, late 3rd quarter. But he had a touchdown. But, I think Coach Salinas still can feel pretty good going into district play. They're going to have a bye next week.
Well, they dropped this one 21-20. What a great game, though, like you mentioned, Mike. And the Panthers can take a lot of positives out of this one. They dropped this one 21-20. For Mike Gonzalez and our camera crew, I am Joe Aguilar. Till next time, see y'all later from Tiger Stadium. Good night.